Creative conversation on comics, news, reviews, and views. That's Comic Book Spectrum. We'll be back in a minute with the rest of the show. Promise.
Seconds.
How dare you!
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Get ready to explore the world of comics, past, present, and future, with our panelists Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall. And now here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum for Thursday, April 28th, 2022, last Thursday of the month. And we've got a great show semi-planned for tonight, and we hope you'll stick around for the whole thing. And we welcome your comments as always. And we're going to change that opening because we got to keep mentioning Joe, and this week Clyde Hall will not be on the show because I believe he is hunting down a cure for a deadly disease that we read about in the pulps. But anyway, Clyde, get your stuff done, and we will see you soon, hopefully. But anyway, this show is brought to you by our usual sponsors, the Rising Tide Publications Company, of which we are very proud, and also Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, and the look of your book matters to you. When you put together a great book, the first thing you're probably saying is, I need a really awful cover to put in front of it. No, you don't say that. You say, I want the best cover I can get. Like, say, this one, Tim Bruckner's Major Marjorie. If you like all kinds of stuff like that, or the Captain Hawkins book, both of which have my names on them, available from Amazon right now, hashtag always promote. Check out what Jeffrey Hayes can do for you and Plasma Fire Graphics. He can create all kinds of beautiful covers for your books or your comics, and then supply you with the graphics you need to sell your work on social media. Stuff that will attract customers to you, like iron filings to a lodestone. And you want that. Definitely you want that. And he's easy to work with, and he's got indie creator friendly pricing. So go to his Facebook page and check out the work that he's actually got in print, as well as plasmafiregraphics.com for some more examples. And you can get his rate card from there. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And speaking of people that matter, my patrons on Patreon matter to me, because they help support the Rising Tide enterprise, and you can too, with a modest monthly stipend. If you want to see what we offer you in exchange for your support, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And without any sort of ado further or otherwise, let's bring in the rest of the crew here of Comic Book Spectrum, unmuting them. And we have Joe D. McFee, Zombie Slayer Eric Hawkins, and Brian Rodman. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Hi.
Living.
Same as every other night.
Not dead.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Yeah. See, I saw a meme today. I think it was this is the 40th anniversary of MTV, and we have them to thank for 14 years of music. So anyway, yeah. So
In what?
yeah, that's a thing they used to do.
You think they'd change the name by now?
You would think so, wouldn't you? You know,
It's all nostalgia now. That's all it's for.
Nostalgia isn't what it used to be, you know.
Yeah, pity.
Anyway, so we have stuff to introduce, stuff to review tonight, and of course we have your comments. Please leave your comments, and we'll read them on the air. We'll have a conversation that way. But first of all, let's introduce ourselves. Let's go around the room, starting right here, and let's see. What? What? Nobody cares. Okay, fine. I'll start it. I'll start it for once. And Joe, you can go last. Okay, there. Be careful what you ask for. Hi, I'm Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. And we've got, Lord, do we have books out there. Anyway, we're up for an award with Snow Shorts. Please pick this up. All this is available on Amazon, where you'll find me a lot of the time. And also go to risingtide.pub if you want to sign up for my free monthly newsletter. And the next issue is going out on May 1st. Working on it, not even as we speak. I'm distracted by this show. And but anyway, you also can see links to my books and my broadcasting, all kinds of cool things. So please check out risingtide.pub. And next up is the one, the only, the delightful, the lovely Brian Rodman.
Hello.
And Luna.
And Luna. Hello, Luna. She says she hates you. I'm
used to it.
Yes. Well, hi, I'm Brian Rodman. Right now, most important thing in the world in this moment is go to this link right here, and you can help us fund the next Nebulizer book. Right now, we are over $2,000 on our way to our initial goal of $3,000. We need your help to get there, guys. Because if we don't get there, it's not coming out. I don't know what to tell you. So,
bull crap! I'll get my book one way or another.
Your evil dead will print on your flesh.
If I have to drive down there and read it on your computer, I'm going to do it.
Stop! Luna just tried to eat my comic.
Just that good.
Apparently. No. So
Brian tested, Luna approved.
The Nebulizer is a post-apocalyptic action comedy, and it's for adults and for kids. It's about a chronic asthmatic named Connor and his feisty AI-controlled nebulizer suit, Albie, as they fight through a world of allergen mutants. It's like Bubble Boy meets Mad Max meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. The colors are insane. Just check that out.
Loving it.
Look at the colors. Look at the
it.
fun. Look at the allergen mutant werewolves.
And there it is. Pew, pew.
And so we are trying to fund the next one. We have, I think, like 16, 17 days left. So help us get there, guys. Go to this link right here and help us get there. And you too can make a Brian's dream come true.
I would say that's worthwhile. I have pledged, and I hope everyone does during this show also. Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it. All right. And someone else who is also, so Brian doesn't have to stay there frozen forever. Eric, the Pro
I
Slayer.
would too.
I should test you on that sometime. Anyway, here is the Pro Slayer himself, Zombie Slayer, Eric Hawkins. Eric, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Eric.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Goodbye. Anyway,
well, see you later.
Hey, I'm the creator of the Zombie World of Oz, which we are funding issue 4 right now, which is fully funded. We still have 9 days to go. I'd like to hit a couple more stretch goals, at least one more. We are $80 shy of the next stretch goal. About, what is it? 120, about 30 backers shy of the next add-on. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, one more thing. You've heard me speak of this many a times. Finally, I found a 3D file, and we have a zombie or a skeleton horse. Kind of zombie-ish.
Ooh. I'm aroused.
Yeah, yeah.
And he painted it.
I did. Yeah. Now, this is not offering my campaign, but this is.
Yay!
Yeah.
Focus. There we go. Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out there. I mean, you can basically create your own level. There's so many add-ons. I added everything to the add-ons. We're in the different levels. So if you want to make your own, go out there. Or if you just want to, share it. It's great. Sharing everybody's campaign is great.
Sharing is caring.
Nice.
That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric. And now rounding out the crew here is the one, the only Mr. Joe D. McFee. Joe, tell everyone what you got going.
Well, what I got going here is I'm just me. I'm here for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum, and I don't even have my graphic up there, but oh, there it is.
I was waiting.
That's going to be important because that's issue number 7 coming out of my flagship series of Amazonia. As I have here, I got issues 1, 3, and 6 in my hand as of right now. And issue 7, we're planning to kickstart that on either May 20th, 21st, or 22nd. One of those 3 days would be the actual launch date. You would get more information a little bit later if we get closer to that date. But that link right there will get you to our landing page where you could be notified on launch. And we got 38 people so far. We're trying to get that number as high as possible to really get the algorithms over there at Kickstarter, that knowledge to say, hey, go ahead and give us that bump once we go live here. And now the key thing here is that we're just going for, a relatively small, meager goal here, just because we just want to get the book printed. But there's a lot of key things that's going to happen in this campaign. Like, for example, a lot of the add-ons are for like the different alternate covers, like this one right here. And then we got some of the more hard to find ones as stretch goals here. So as we unlock more stretch goals, you're guaranteed to get, especially if you back the physical books, you're guaranteed to get free copies of those alternate covers that is listed on the campaign. And like I said, we're about to get ready to offer a catch-up tier for all 7 books for the low price of $35. So, 7 issues for $35. Can't beat that with a stick. And that's not including, like I said, all the catch up for the alternate covers and everything to that magnitude. Plus, a couple of key things like stickers and keychains and stuff to that magnitude. So, go ahead, sign up to that bit.ly link right there to be notified here. Like I said, the more people we get following the campaign, and once we start that launch button and hit that launch button, we're going to take off, and it's going to go like wildfire, and we're going to be promoting the heck out of it, because issue 7 is going to be a good spot to really get into this series, because we're pretty much at the midway point of the first story arc at this point.
Beautiful. All right, thank you, Joe. And and I gotta say, the 35 for that much comic book, that is very, very good. And
definitely.
I've read the first issue, and I am going to pick the others. It's a good series, folks. You really need to check it out. And another thing, there's always somebody that always has a question about it. When you pre-sign up for a campaign like Joe's, you are not being obligated to spend money immediately. All that does is just get you notified once the campaign is active. Okay? And then whatever you wanted to give beforehand, you can triple it at that point. Okay.
You're not even obligated to spend any money.
Nope.
No, you're not.
No, sign up. Just sign up. You don't have to spend any money.
Yeah, you don't have to.
It helps Joe out regardless.
It really does. It really does. But keep in mind your immortal soul, because you're basically lying to Joe that you're not going to support his campaign. You'll burn in hell. So anyway, just trying to get that out there to put a little gentle pressure on people. So anyway, now that I've
Brian, do you know Rodman? Do you know what your conversion rate is right now on Kickstarter?
I don't. Off the top of my head.
What? You did not look at your dashboard as of yet to see it? Ooh.
Not today.
I'm at 170 followers, but only 65 had converted.
Oh,
Which is 38%.
That's
38% is not bad at all.
That's not bad at all.
Let's see. Jumping in here real quick.
Yeah.
Shut up, dogs!
Oh, but you just want to say hi.
We got comics to review too.
Underdog.
Let's all stare at Brian.
Hi.
Hi.
Where is it?
It's on
Is it
the
in the dashboard?
Yeah, it's in the dashboard. Yeah,
Once
just
it's under
scroll
the
down.
dashboard,
yeah,
and then
about
scroll
halfway.
down a little bit, and then it's going to have conversion rate based upon followers.
You find your dashboard under dashboard.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
Oh, converted followers. 34. So I have 47% conversion rate.
That's
See,
great.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's-
That's not
no,
bad.
that's great.
Yeah,
Seriously,
Oh,
that is-
hey, I got a backer.
Yes. Yes.
See?
Taking full credit. But anyway,
No,
Yeah, he can have the credit. You can have that. It was
I
only
know
my
who
fault.
it is. But now I'm less than $40 away from the next stretch goal.
excellent. So, folks, Eric's campaign. We'll be flashing it more on the screen as we go. Please.
And we'll be flashing you on the screen as well.
Probably so, yeah. And we have the sign here about pants for a reason. Anyway, it's optional. It's casual Thursday here.
I did find the other information, by the way,
Which is
it's 6:45
okay.
40
That's what I thought.
on
That's what I thought.
Saturday. On that
Okay.
Saturday,
Yes,
And what-
I will be on CromCon this weekend.
Right.
So, all right, thank you, Joe.
right?
Appreciate that. I
And
need all
usually
the
you got the 6:45, or I got one of the early slots. I got 1 p.m. But then again, I had to be there because of the simple fact that I'm also part of the Glenn, Texas, Dave, Doc, Tank, and everybody else for that opening ceremony type deal. So I like going to the opening ceremony, get my 15 minutes in, and I'm out.
Is it like a parade and someone's got to carry a torch?
Nah,
pitchfork?
never like that. It's just more along the lines. It's like, look at we got that our old books.
Well, I'll be on there filling 15 minutes because I don't really have. Well, I do have stuff I can promote. It just won't be comics. So
Just
That
promote
doesn't
mine
have
and
to
Eric's
be.
stuff. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll promote you guys as what it is. So, but no, I got all kinds of books coming out. So anyway, we have comments. Lord, do we have comments such as Donna Carlene Watt carefully peeling the foil wrapper off her chocolate Cadbury cream egg. I thought that was That's-
Why am I now looking at the background way for Luna to go? "Buck meow, buck meow."
Brian just thinks it's a Cadbury egg she's leaving for him, so it's more like an
delicious
Amber Heard.
chocolate.
Yeah, it looked like chocolate, but and good evening, superheroes. Ted Davies Artistry, glad to see you here. Hope you are having a great night. Hello to you, Carl Witzman. Hello, and yes, it is shenanigan time. It is always shenanigan time. You betcha, says Donna. And Lissy, hello, everyone. Hello, Lissy. I'm glad you're here. Hope you're doing well. Everyone's saying hello to Lissy. And Nita Lanning. Hey there, you handsome devil. Nita, how are you, darling?
Yeah.
Beautiful thing, you. Check out the Raging 2 Network. They got a variety of great shows. Ooh.
No, the person who needs to see this, they know who they are. Just let them know that I got it.
Okay, cool. And I know who the cover artist is. It's Irv Novick. Haha. Anyway, anyway, Nita, check out what Nita does in her great channel. Check out her Raging 2 channel, and please subscribe to that because they've got to pass me up. I have so vowed. And Ryan Permisson, what's up, CBS crew? How are you? We are well, Ryan. Check out Nerd Culture on YouTube and sign up for that. And tickling Al goes before popping off to work. Don't tickle your algos too much. You'll go blind. Yeah, I know. I was reading more into that than I should. But anyway, no, check out their great shows, and especially like Sunday with Randy Zimmerman, Sunday Funnies. Great show.
Or Sketchy Saturdays. That's also happening too.
That's true. They got a lot of. I think it's like 7 days a week now. And tomorrow morning will be Nerd Bacon.
Nerd Bacon was today.
That was today.
I don't know what day it is.
Tomorrow is the blogs. It's the Daphne and Nita
Tomorrow
blog.
you're
Oh,
on,
that's
Brian.
right. Yes, definitely.
Tomorrow's your show, Brian.
Yeah.
Huh? Anyway.
Yeah, never mind. The Furmore also tomorrow too.
thank you. I appreciate that. No,
Always
abandon me
print.
at 11 so you can go see their show. I will understand because they are awesome. So anyway, here was hello Luna, Ryan, Nita, and the guys. And Leslie says Nora is disappointed her papa isn't famous with her classmates. Make him famous for her, people.
Yeah, she doesn't. She has a hard time understanding that she knows her grandpa's on YouTube,
Right.
but nobody has seen me on YouTube. None of her classmates. She goes,
None of her classmates should see you on YouTube.
"Aren't you on YouTube?" Yes, yes, dear, I am.
Yes, I am.
None of them know who you are. I'm like, well,
they're tuning into the wrong shows then.
tell their parents to back my
being
comics,
harassed.
then they could find out who I
Show
am.
them that.
That's right.
What
No.
are you doing?
She's like, give me a drink, you fool.
She wants
I'm
ice
parched.
water.
Did she just
so
hiss
bad.
at you?
No.
Oh,
That she farted at the camera.
Ya se muña.
And Luna's going, no, there is nothing greater than I am. So don't tell me behold the only thing. And Carl Winston says we already call him the Eric Hawkins within our little group of weirdos. It's a huge group of weirdos. Let's don't underestimate us.
You call us weirdos like we're from Nerdocrumbizia.
That's right.
If you get that reference, then you know a little something about game shows.
That's right. Oh my God, that's right. And sorry I had been paying attention. I've been online shopping. Donna is probably buying tribute gifts for Eric. That's how popular he is, Lissy's friends. But at 9, the 3rd grade playground is where it matters. I'm sorry, but your dad can't go there, the judge told him, okay? And $35 is Damian Walbrin. He's in. Damian, it's good to see you, brother. Thank you very much. Hey. All right. And Luna's going, what's wrong, Daddy? This tastes like human. You are such a...
Ew, don't you drink. Don't you do. Don't. No. Oh, gross.
That's right. Luna, don't you know where he's been?
Eric, give us a kiss. Come on.
Oh my God.
It's bad enough I let my dog lick my face after he does
It's
whatever
the
he
same
does.
thing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
He doesn't put it in my mouth.
All right. Brian,
And what's the next comment, Brian?
Thank God it's Sarah. Hello. Evening to you, darling.
And remember, folks, this episode is rated M for McFee.
I need to change that for that. I really do. And Carl Winston says, do we need to appear at the playground and ask, is anyone here related to the famous Eric Hawkins? And all the hands go up. Anyway, Carl Winston says, were you buying more cigars, Donna? The credit card company just asked me if it was okay or not. I said, okay. Don't lift that shirt, Eric. Not that kind of famous. Could be. Yeah. Yes, be sure to subscribe to Eric's channel on Pornhub, and that might help Carl kids in their funny hierarchy. Oh God!
Leave me alone. There we go. Gosh.
Are we gonna have to start, Eric? I think you need to start drawing Luna into that graphic with all of us now. Yeah.
Just their head behind everybody.
Yeah.
That would be
Claws at Brian's throat. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, no shampoo and hair dye in some awesome colors, half price. So she bought twice as many. All things considered, this is better than the conversation we were having 7 days ago. And if you missed that that one, check out our back issues, people, if you dare. And Donna says, damn, I missed the Eric lifting his shirt first, his button out. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, get those singles ready. Eric's in the house. And hi to anyone I missed while buying my hair tie. And Carl thinks, okay, I think I backed everyone now. Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much.
It wouldn't be the first
Thank
time
you,
I've had
Carl.
singles stuffed. Or the third time. It's happened a few times.
Well,
That
I
he's
feel
willing
like-
to admit to.
Yeah, exactly. He'll also do it for quarters, too, I hear. Anyway, Luna, you give her some water, you peasant.
I did, and look what's happened. This is what's happened. Good. You,
Now you'll never
right.
get rid of her.
listen to me. I love you very much. No. But you have to leave me alone right now. Okay?
You're trying to revive you. You're on camera.
There you go.
What you do can incriminate you.
That's right. That's why we had him on full screen there.
Oh,
Because he's trying to intimidate the cat, and the cat's going, yeah, whatever.
Guess
Anyway,
what? I'll do what I want.
I ain't afraid of you, human.
that's right.
I'll bring in some pollen.
I've been rolling around in the gardens. Take that. And it's okay drinking after Luna. He licks his butt, too.
At work in front of Damien.
I thought you were going to say Damien does it. This is a relief. Anyway.
There is no way you're that flexible.
I would still pay serious money to watch him try.
Yeah, I'm not saying maybe Damien's watched him try. But he's never made it.
Oh, and the comments are cascading in now. Wow, this became the green room, says Carl. Oh, and Grant Lankard, good to see you. Good evening, gentlemen. There are no gentlemen to be had here, but we're grateful you're here. And good evening, comic book peeps. Rick Bradley, you picked the wrong time to show up, but we're glad you're here too. And
Well, he
OMG,
picked the right time to show
Hey,
up.
Rick's
Probably.
show premiered this week.
Yeah, it did.
yay, that was good. And OMG, I have to leave. He doesn't put it in my mouth. I will get so banned, says Nita Landing of the Breaking New Broadcast Network.
Yep. Thank you, Nita.
Thank you very much, Nita. And you're going to miss to see whose mouth he does put it in. Anyway, David Walburn says, I keep trying to get him at an OnlyFans going. Oh.
I will. I keep telling him I will if he does.
Large man tries to lick his own butt. See if it happens. Only $9.99 a month.
There's a monthly fee because that's how long it takes.
It takes 2 months to get him straightened out again, too.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like popcorn popping. Oh, there's this vertebrae go flying off in all directions. Oh, and I should laugh. And Joe is like, what have I gotten myself into? I have practically begged to be on this show, and this is what it's turned into.
No, I'm just trying to have self-control right now.
This is not the place for self-control.
No, this is the place for self-control. We need it desperately. And Joe, I feel your pain too. And Rick Bradley says, whenever I do a show on comic book video games, I'll have to see about having one of you weirdos on the show.
Do you want to be on his show?
He'll let
Do
you.
you?
He'll let you drink from Donovan's
He'll let
cup.
you drink water.
From Donovan's cup.
The special water.
The sweat from his. Never mind. Yes, check out R&D Gaming on Monday nights. I think it is. I don't know anymore.
On something.
Yeah, something. Tune in every night. Rick will be on eventually.
Yeah.
And definitely, and also check out the Dastardly Dingoes from Tuesday night. It was their season closer, and that was an excellent show.
Season-ending finale for some reason.
Do what?
He had your season-ending finale for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, we do that. We take summers off. We take summers off to revamp for the next season, to get some ideas pumping, and to get some other work done.
And Chad goes cruising the country.
That's
And
right.
Chad and Jeremy are on their way to New York City right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Together? Is there?
Yeah, they're eloping.
Oh, cool. I was wondering. Well, we wish the couple much happiness. All right.
I don't.
Well, Well,
It's
one
like,
of us here
it's
does.
like was it the Puma and Timon?
Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Hakuna Matata.
That's what the young people
What
call
a
it
wonderful phrase.
And Sarah says, I had a cat that farted while he was licking his ass. Thanks, Sarah. It made a large fart sound. He then glared at it.
Oh, this is what I have to say. My farts scare my cats, and that makes me impressed with myself. I'm just saying. The other night it happened. Luna legit perked up, her ears went back, and she ran out of the room. And I was like, that's right. Established dominance. Established dominance.
Suddenly there's a devastating sheet of flame. And,
Did Robin run out of the room as well?
No, Robin laughed the whole time.
Robin
She's
hasn't
my
been back
wife.
since.
She chose this. Remember. Yeah.
Apparently, Robin didn't see all the ingredients in the.
Oh, I hadn't
man
heard
candy.
Robin's voice, so I just assumed she might have been a mail order Russian bride.
Not been done yet.
And ain't no passing craze, says Damian Walbrun. And Raging 2 Broadcast Network says, I've got $6. Oh, and Carl Winston says, I can hear Donna laughing all the way across the house. And Carl has a huge house, too. It's like that old joke from Mad Magazine about Bonanza, where Ben Cartwright finds some squatters on his land. He goes, you got 6 months to get off my land, and believe me, you're going to need every minute of it. And Carl says, we've killed her now. Hurry and grab her cigars while you have a chance. Anyway.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, God. My stomach hurts now from laughter. Anyway, so who wants to review a comic book?
I'll go ahead. Sure.
Okay, let's have Eric.
Wait, Joe, you got to do
Oh,
your...
yeah, Joe, do you want to do your usual thing?
Yes, we still have to do it. We don't have to, but we have to.
What?
Because we got a new book in the rotation.
It's Schrodinger's have to.
Okay, welcome to Comic Book Phone. Please pay close attention to the selections because we have new options. For Lady Mechanica and the Ministry Monster and the Monster of the Ministry of Hell #3, select 1.
Retire that one.
For Ant #3, featuring Spawn, press 2. For She-Hulk #3, press 3. For Carriers #4, please select 4. Choose now.
Very good, very good. And we will have Joe on after. And we already have a vote in. Eric Hawkins is voted for #3. Yay, Eric.
I vote
right.
for #1.
And
So does
Frog
Frog
G
G.
is here. Frog, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Carl is going for 3, and Lissy is going for 4. And let's
The votes are all over the place.
I know it. Good luck tallying this one, Joe.
Joe's gonna have to really pay attention this time.
Yeah, really. And I mentioned getting her cigars, and he goes, her cigars? Done. And Donna says, you'll have to pry them from my cold dead hands. That was the point, Donna. Anyway, Donna, we're still alive. And Carl is voting for Donna's, casting Donna's vote for you. You can tell he lives near Chicago. And Christy Selmer, good to see you, hon. And she wants #4, and Dead Davies Archery wants #3. I think, no, we have one comic that has not been represented yet.
That is correct.
Yes.
That'd probably be Ant.
I believe so.
That is
I had to
correct.
do that for my pile. I got a good pile this week, so not to be confused with Amber Heard. But anyway, so
Oi.
I know it's starting
Revenge
already.
Feces.
Oh, good.
Oh, revenge feces.
I know. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Ah.
Anyway, Eric has volunteered to go first.
Remember, tonight's episode is rated M for messy. because last week's episode was messy.
Yeah, it's rated M for my God. I ain't changing those sheets. Anyway, we've got Eric, the Pro Slayer himself, and he's getting ready. I can tell. Eric, take it away.
I remember what the name of the book was.
And Carlos goes, "Here we go again." And we have a representation. Sarah has voted for number 2. Thank you, Sarah.
So did Amber Heard.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh.
And I will put Eric's banner up here while he is talking. You may not pay attention to him as long as you go to vote for the Zombie-Full World of Oz number 4, along with the trade paperback for issues 1 through 3 with extra unseen until now art. Correct.
There is some amazing art from my friends over at the Drawn and Quartered show. We did Zombie-Full World of Oz a couple weeks ago, and a couple of them have been rolling in with their finished pieces. And one I got last night was so gorgeous. I loved it so much.
They were beautiful. They seriously.
I thought about letting her start drawing my comic instead of me. I'm not worthy. So I'm going to review an image book tonight, and it's by Steve Niles and whoa, that's a Szymon Kudranski. A Town Called Terror. Now, I didn't know anything about this book when I picked it up. This kind of reminded me of a Silvestri-looking drawing there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
I
Tony
picked
Daniels,
it up to take
though, right?
a look at it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Which, kind of same thing. But the art in it is a little different. It's really good. It's really good. Don't get me wrong there. It's a lot of it has a paintery look to it. Like a lot of the backgrounds are painted and stuff.
Ooh, nice. That's pretty.
Yeah. A lot of read the first couple pages, but yeah. But the characters seem to be drawn more a traditional looking inked type style. But yeah. Oh wow! I didn't realize how many double splash pages there were. There goes a couple points. But even some of the the art's really nice. But there's some scenes in here where the artist. At first, I wasn't sure if it was done traditional or digitally. But I'm pretty sure it might be digital now because I'd have to find where it is. But there's a few scenes where he takes he'll blur the background or blur the foreground like any camera would do, which I've seen it done in comic book art. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's quite noticeable here, so I don't think it worked as well, but I still love the art regardless. It's really nice.
It is.
So this is a Town Called Terror, and we open up with I would say a manservant of a richer man, and that would be the rich man on the table. This would be the manservant here, like his butler. But he's putting his body back together for him and playing some music, and this was interesting. So that's what
rich people do.
Yeah. So this, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but right here you can see Steve Niles. And you can see the artist's name over in the middle right there. So in the middle of this, they put the names within the art for the credits. So I thought that was kind of unique. I hadn't seen that done before, or at least not to recent memory. I guess I have seen it, but this really jumped out at me. Really cool. So he's putting the body back together of this. I'm going to say his boss, and boss tells him, well, you should put the head on first. That way I could talk to you. And so this is how it starts out. A Town Called Terror. The man's put back together. Then we jump into I am going to assume this is the man whose body was torn apart. It's his son. So we jump into meeting his son, having some fun with his wife. Everything's hidden, so it's not too bad. But you know what? You can tell what's going on. Then that's when the action starts. A group of people breaks in, kidnaps the husband after they shoot the wife with a tranq dart. She wakes up to find he's gone. She calls the police. They tell him she's got to wait 24 hours. So she calls back, and then a cop finally comes out, and he's like, so there's no sign of a break-in anywhere. Well, let me check my camera. And her camera only has static. So he's like, well, it's not that I don't believe you, but we'll just we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, these four men who have kidnapped the other guy, Henry, they take him in a van. They're driving. He goes, well, I guess the a-hole wants to see me, huh? Well, yeah, but your father has died, sir. That's why you've been summoned. And he's like, dead, huh? Again? Apparently, that's how I figured out that's probably his dad who's getting his head put back on. This is, man, wow, there's so many double-page spreads in here.
Wow. But they're nice.
Yeah, they are nice. They're beautiful. I mean, the angles and everything. And this is when he reaches the town called Terror, which I thought, man, is this the end of the book? I mean, darn. No, it wasn't the end of the book. So he's come back to this town, which he hates. He left years ago because it's a town, a hidden town full of freaks and monsters.
I grew up there.
Yeah. So he gets back. He's going to meet with his dad, and that doesn't happen yet. But man, there's a lot of splash pages too. Good grief. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of splash pages. Man, now I'm feeling like it wasn't worth the $3.99. So apparently this guy's from a town which is called Terror, and it's full of freaks and monsters. He left because of how disgusted he was with the town. But apparently he's needed by his father, who seems to be like the mayor or something like that. It really doesn't tell you too much about that. It's a decent entry. They probably could have done a little more as long as backstory. I mean, there's really not a lot of dialogue either. Basically, I almost read the whole book to you by just telling you what happened. Well, with all the splash pages, of course. It's okay. It's I'm curious to see what kind of monsters and freaks live in the town, so I'll pick up issue 2. I don't know if I'll go past issue 2 because this one did not win me over right away. But I'm curious to see what's in the town. I mean, was it werewolves, vampires? What kind of freaks and monsters do we have? So I'm only going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Man.
Wow.
But still not horrible. It's not throw worthy. It's not monkey meat tear up worthy. It's for the art is beautiful in it. Except for some of the foreground stuff, which I don't think works all the time in comics. I mean, unless you're really good at it and don't use a filter to just blur the background or foreground. But yeah, it's the art I would give a 9, a solid 9. But the book itself just 5 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, thank you very much.
This one's not for you, Joe. Not for you.
I probably wouldn't have got it anyway. Again, I'm not a horror fan.
Oh, well, see, here we go. And the voting continues. Sarah says, you're welcome. Thank you, darling. And talking about Amber Heard, I know a way for the Eric to get famous real quick. And everyone's saying hello to Sarah, who loves us. And that's a cool cover, says Donna. And
I have done that in a park before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in the
Done
bathroom.
somebody's bed in a park? That's weird.
No, just in the park.
This is the show for it. Anyway, and Cindy Kepler, hello there. Hello, Cindy, CKOEPB.com. Check out that Facebook page and also check her out on Patreon because she's amazing and we adore her. Thank you for being here, Cindy. Now, we have the polling going on. You want to go through our choices one more time, Joe, and then we'll have a winner.
Yes, and then Brian can go.
Well, actually, I'm going to try what you did.
You want to try my method?
I'm going to try if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, you want to do your okay?
We could go through mine first. We could go through mine first, and then you
go through yours, and then I'll do mine because I've got more to do.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't rehearse, people.
So first we have Lady Mechanica, the Monster of the Ministry of Hell, number 3, which is option 1. Option 2 is Ant number 3, featuring Spawn. Option 3 is She-Hulk number 3, which is the brand new option for this week. And then we have Carriers number 4 as option number 4.
All right. All right. Folks, you've got one more minute to vote. I think there's a couple of you that haven't yet. And let's see. Eric's voted. Brian, did you vote?
Number 1.
Number 1. I'm going to vote for number 2 so that Sarah isn't alone. Okay. And Carrier 4 is for the birds, says Cindy Kemp. So we got another vote for number 4. So anyway, we've got those votes in. And so now I will do mine. Now, and Carl Wisman says, we don't rehearse, people. Yeah, kind of guessed that. It is kind of blatantly obvious, you know. Every week is a dress rehearsal.
It's what brings our charm.
Exactly. We do ad lib, like from the time we start to the time we go home. And Damian Wadburn says 3, I say. So we've got those votes in. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now I will take the screen because I'm going to do something a little different. We'll see if this works for me. Probably not. Okay, we'll start it out like Joe did. Hello. Thank you for calling Comic Book Spectrum. Your phone call is allegedly very important to us.
That's not what Joe said.
I'm ad-libbing, Eric. Anyway, so please list your following selection. Remember, selections may have changed since Joe put his up there. Number 1, big surprise. Action Comics 1042 with featuring Superman and the Martian Man, or actually the Martian Manhunter with Superman the Barbarian. That's number 1. Number 2 is Jim Ruggs Hulk Grand Design Madness. No, it's not about the ska group from the 80s. Number 3 is issue 2 of Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, for all you Cullen Bunn fans out there. And we do want,
oh jeez,
and we want to cater to both of you.
You know what happens when you say his name on the show?
Another angel gets his wings. Yes, I do.
No, Joe or Clyde kept getting bumped off.
Well, Clyde's not here. Oh my God, maybe that's why. Anyway, let's see. That is 3. Okay, number 4 is the second issue of We Have Demons. All right. Number 5 is the brand new edition of the Unbeatable Blue Baron. All right, if you like 60s and 70s Marvel work. And number 6 is The Death of the Justice League, number 75. And number 7 is a secret.
Ooh.
Do you want me to review number 7? All right.
Yep, I want Superman 6. I want to know who died. I want to know every single one of them.
We don't do
I'm with
spoilers.
Eric on that one. I'm actually with Eric on that one.
I
Okay.
am too.
Okay, so that's 3 votes for number 6. All right, now let's
Never again will I vote for a DC book. So you
I better enjoy it while it lasts, unless it doesn't get voted for this time. Anyway,
Okay, now I'm tabulating your votes. Now you got another one for 3, 2 for 3, another one for 6, 1 for 7, which is the mystery.
Yes.
And what was Power Rangers? Power Rangers was 5.
Power Rangers was number 1, 2, 3.
Power
Number
Rangers.
3 was
23?
Godzilla versus the Power Rangers.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So those are the choices right now, and go Godzilla. Yes, and Cindy is voting for Blue Oyster Cult.
and Godzuki.
Yes.
Pardon me while I go shave my veins. And we've got some votes for 6, and you got Frog G there?
I got Frog G. Yep, I got
Thank you,
everybody
Frog.
for yours. Yep.
All right, excellent. So we've got some of the votes in. You have until we'll give you a time after Joe is done with his, and then we will go into or actually we'll wait till Brian is done with his review. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it gives you more time to vote.
Sounds good.
All right. So Joe, would you like to go next?
Okay, you want me to go next? I was expected to do what I normally do, which is to be the fill in for anybody that fills in. So now I was hoping to fill in for Clyde, but I guess I'm not the gold standard tonight.
Okay, fine. You don't.
No,
get
I'm going because I'm happy.
Rodman, take
it was.
I'll review. Good grief! All right.
It was a 3-way tie until
It did
Damien
three-way.
said something, and I'm happy.
Okay, we want Joe to be happy. So now we are starting next with the gold standard this week. And that's Mr. Joe D. McFee. And then it'll be Brian's turn to be the gold standard. And then I'll be bringing up the rear. I have no standards whatsoever. So anyway, here is
That's
Joe
the best
D.
standard. No standards.
No standards. No. Take it away, Joe. And I'm going to put up your banner here so folks, you can sign up for Amazonia and be notified upon it's going live in May. So please check this out. So Joe, you're up.
Now, based upon the voting, winning by 1 vote, we are going to review She-Hulk number 3.
Like that cover.
The Jack of Hearts.
Cool.
Now, if you haven't seen the other reviews for it, go back, pause this video, go back, watch the other comic book spectrums because we did the other 2 right here on the show. And the story continues on, and this issue brought back a lot of memories from previous She-Hulk series, and it is kind of cool to see this stuff actually transpire the way that it did. It's like how it's bringing back at least the series from like the early 2000s to now into full perspective here. So issue number 3, written by Rainbow Royale, Raj Antonio is the artist on it. The colorist was Rico Renzi, and the letter is Joe Kaminaga. Kaminaga. Yep, that's it. That's right. And as always, we have the Jen Bartel cover.
That's nice.
And that's Jen, Jen, as in Jennifer. So, issue number 3 starts back out with Jennifer, as in Jennifer Walters, aka the She-Hulk, being, going in for her second day in the office at her brand new law firm, where again we have Mallory Book. If you remember Mallory Book from one of the other series, she was like third in control of, I forgot the name of the stupid law firm, but again, that's a lot of She-Hulk history to cover. Don't have time for that right now, but if you want more history on it, let me know in the comments. I'll probably do a show on that from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, sometime on the history of the She-Hulk, as far as all the stuff that's dealing with superhuman law. But you got Mallory Book, harassing her about, hey, have you got any new clients? What's going on? We need you to have new clients. We need to have new clientele. We need, business to kind of flow. And she was up there like, hey, I just got here. It's my second day. I got a couple leads. I just haven't followed up on it. And, how most, managers are. It's like, hey, you need to get on it. We need to do it right away. And then she thought about it. It's like, wait a second, you've been out of this for a while. You probably actually really need to, get updated onto our system. Okay, I'm going to have Andy to help you. And she kind of looks around. It's like, Andy who? Now, for those who are big fans of the She-Hulk series, there's only one Andy. We talking about Awesome Andy, aka for the Mad Thinker. They finally reunite for the first time since the Dan Slott era of She-Hulk.
Cool.
So Awesome Andy is back, and they're kind of catching up and everything. And she kind of mentioned, it's like, how are you back, in action like this? It's like, I thought, the Mad Thinker reprogrammed you back to the way that you were. And he kind of answered, it's like, it was due to Mallory. And then Mallory said, yeah, I had a backup copy of his old programming. So he's back to his free will thinking, Awesome Andy's type self, instead of as the awesome android. So it's kind of cool that he's back in the Marvel Universe in a She-Hulk book as a whole here, and they're trying to, It's like, Mallory's up here. It's like, hey, don't spend all the time gossiping this, that, and the other. Have him to help you get used to the system and whatnot. So while she's there, she's up here getting a couple of phone calls. She got a phone call from who else? Ben Grimm and everything. Talking about, it's like, hey, are you calling me about Fantastic Four stuff? It's like, no, I need a lawyer. Turns out that, he got into some trouble. Not really himself, but Lockjaw and him got into trouble. Again, if you want more history about the thing in Lockjaw, just comment, make a comment. Again, I'll add all of that to a quote unquote the history of the She-Hulk type deal, because that's part of her history too, about how she replaced the Thing and some of the Thing history and whatnot. Saying all of that to long story short here, she's like, okay, fine, I meet up with you and talk about what's going on here. And then she gets another strange phone call here. And the second phone call from an unknown source happened to be, you guessed it, Quicksilver.
Huh?
And Quicksilver's up here. It's like, who put you up to this? Like, did Big Grill tell you what? It's like, well, what's wrong? It's like, well, I got a speeding ticket. And one thing, it's like, that's how that scene ends and whatnot. So after that day, she comes home with a pizza and everything to find Jack of Hearts still knocked out sleep. So she kind of wakes him up and everything and try to figure out, it's like, hey, what's going on? Have you been asleep all day? He's pretty much like, no, I've been up, ate something, ate some more, went back to sleep. So pretty much that's how it is. It's like, okay, fine. I brought us the food here, have some pizza. He's like, I don't eat this. At least I don't remember eating this. I don't remember pizza. I don't remember half of this stuff. So at that point, she's trying to figure out, well, what can we do? It's like, so she's up here trying to get him to trying to see if he remembers anything, and the reason why he's there. So he's like, yeah, as I was sleeping, I don't remember anything that truly happened. The only thing I remember is like bits and pieces of my life. So, they get into the conversation. It's like, well, let's do this trick here. So she pulls out a legal pad and pretty much just like, okay, let's do this. Who are you? And it's like, okay, we know that you are Jack Hart, aka Jack of Hearts. You have, and they're just going through the things that he can do or what he remembers and everything. And we get kind of like a short little history of Jack of Hearts through what he can remember up to this point. Now, mind you, if you've been following the Marvel books up until this point, the Jack of Hearts has made several other appearances in other series. However, and I'm talking about recently, I'm talking about within like the last couple of weeks, but this is kind of like the one that pretty much solidifies him back into the Marvel universe at this point. So he was up here stating that it's like everything that he knows about himself was either told to him or has been reiterated in some form or some fashion by some other governing body. So he was up here talking about, what he remembered from S.H.I.E.L.D. and what was told to him by Iron Man, what was told to him by the alien faction that was supposed to be like his mom's side of the family and all this other stuff. And they're kind of, tripping through, memory lane in such a way where, he started to kind of understand where things were going. And one of the things that comes up was how he always admired Jennifer, because she always know what to do and how to go about things. And she's up, and then we get some of the stuff that reconciliation for some of the stuff that she has done in the past, like what happened in Indiana. Again, if you need that to know more about that, comment again. I'll go through the whole She-Hulk history about how she lost control and everything, and how the Avengers had to try to stop her, yada, yada, yada. Again, all these stories from the past are coming into fruition, and they're literally hashing a lot of stuff out in this issue here. So in that conversation, it pretty much, she was up here trying to tell him how she kind of like dealt with some of the situation and how, eventually she got to the point where she had to trust somebody, and at that point she ended up trusting herself. Now, again, it is one of those things that just, in conversation that comes up, it's kind of like how, you have admiration for a person, just talking, just taking the time to kind of like get your head straightened out in a way. And that's what this whole conversation turned out to be. It's like he's really learning more about himself as he talks more to Jennifer and everything. And like I said, his human nature is finally coming back, because again, he's been away from that human aspect of himself. I talk about Jack of Hearts as a whole. So eventually he started eating the pizza, and it's like, how come I don't remember pizza and all this other stuff? It's like, and she's up here saying it's like, it's because of, the fact that you don't know what is true and what is not. So as they were talking, it's okay, fine, let's try the power. Since you said that you have these powers, like, okay, fine, just destroy this pizza box. So he tries to destroy the pizza box, and he ended up starting flying. He's up here. It's like everything's wrong, something's not right, And then Jennifer's like, maybe you're just rebooting. Maybe your powers are working correctly. It's just that you're not used to them as of yet. And then she realized one other thing. It's like, well, could it be something wrong with the suit? It's like, and he was like, what do you mean? It's like, I need this suit to contain my radiation and all this other stuff. It's like, well, says who? And that's, this is where we get into that. It's like, and she was up there like, well, think about it. Have you never taken a shower? Have you never have to take it off to go to the little superheroes room? Something's not right about that. It's like, why is it that you can't take off that suit? So, she kind of like leaves him there to kind of like think about that. And then in the next scene, and, back-to-back pages of that, not going to mention that, she sneaks off into the closet. And she called AKA Hellcat Patsy Walker. And they get into a conversation about the whole thing about, it's like, hey, how you like your new digs? Everything's okay. Did Janet leave everything in good status? It's like, and again, the apartment that she originally had in one of the Dan Slott series was originally, Janet Van Dyne, aka the Wasp. So they get into a whole conversation and everything and whatnot. And, she's looking through clothes, and they get into a conversation about how things are and everything. And she wanted to talk to Patsy about Jack of Hearts and what's going on. And then the conversation turned more along the lines like this. It's like, are you, and Patsy kind of asked, it's like, are these conversations bringing you back into the mindset of where you was at in Indiana? Again, if you really want to know what happened in Indiana, the long and the short of it is, Indiana is where the incident happened, where Bruce Banner died, and they literally killed him off in front of her. And she couldn't deal with it. That's the reason why she had all this PTSD and whatnot. And she just went on a rampage as a result of it, about how he died. After saving all these people, the Avengers and stuff ended up killing them. So that was the whole thing. And then it brings back the whole thing about what happened in Indiana, the fact that she had to go through psychotherapy through Doc Samson. And she's like, hell no, I'm not going through that ever again. Nobody needs to interfere in my life like that ever again. This, that, or the other. And she quickly brings it back to the whole thing about Jack of Hearts and all this other stuff. And then, Patrick's like, well, that stuff is going to work itself out, this, that, or the other. And then they start talking about, what's going on with Patsy, and the fact that, the whole thing about Tony Stark and everything, about having the proper access and clearance. And little do you know, it's like, guess who's standing there while she's on the phone? Really not, saying too much or anything to keep, things out of earshot of him. They quickly, end that conversation. And then, as he took close to to Jack of Hearts and everything. It's like, you know, she's knocking on the door. It's like, okay, can I come in? It's like, is everything okay? Only to find that Jack of Hearts actually changed clothes into something that just seemed kind of out of the ordinary for him. And that's how this issue ends, with the whole change of clothing and whatnot. So in a weird way, a lot of things had happened in this issue, and it's going to show that this version of the She-Hulk series is going to be more character driven than anything else. And they're really trying to take deep dives in characters that people forgot about. So in the preview for issue number 4, we get to see the cover and everything here. What I'm surmising is that we're going to get more about this whole thing about the Jack of Hearts, but we also going to see what's really going to be the real trouble that Ben Grimm is in, and why he hires Jennifer as his lawyer. So that's going to be kind of like the cool thing here. With that being said, with all the nice little throwbacks, with all the interactions with different characters in the Marvel universe, as far as progression of the story from issue 2 to 3, I'm kind of disappointed in it, because we didn't get to know who's chasing after Jack as of yet. That has not been revealed. I was thinking that we're going to get more clues in this issue. That didn't happen. But what did happen is that we now know why Jack is there. We now know the state in which Jack of Hearts is in at this point. And we got a lot of nice little nods of characters that's going to come back and be a part of this series. With that being stated, I have to give this issue a 7 out of 10. I believe it could have been a lot better if they would have gave us kind of like another breadcrumb as far as who was chasing after the Jack of Hearts and why he was contained, or even a breadcrumb of why he doesn't want to go back to get answers through S.H.I.E.L.D. or any other place like S.H.I.E.L.D. We just need a little bit more breadcrumbs as far as where they're going with this, as opposed to anything else. And that was the only major problem with this particular issue. So we got, they got us answers, but they didn't give us that I got to read the next issue moment, if I could put it to you that way. I mean, what's going on with Ben Grimm is, to me, is not as important as far as, well, you still got this mystery about what's going on with Jack of Hearts, and now you're about to have her to deal with her first case, with her first client for this series. You can't just leave things out in the open like that unless those two things get, intertwined in such a way where both things kind of play in importance, where it's like she has to balance career and helping a friend or something to that magnitude, and they didn't establish that at all. So that's the reason why it's a 7 out of 10 for She-Hulk number 3. And like I said, I'm serious about the other thing. If you guys want me to do the history of the She-Hulk, let me know. I'll be happy to take an episode of From the Desk of Small Press Publisher and go through that.
All right. Sounds good. Seven, or excuse me, I'm hearing an echo.
Yep.
Okay, it's gone. Okay, good. But yeah, that's 10 o'clock on Saturday nights from the That's Small Press Publisher. Check that show out. Cindy, thank you very much, Joe. That was great. Appreciate it, man. Yay!
I think Ben probably needs help with a paternity lawsuit.
That could be.
Again, I have read the awful, what was it, Fantastic Four 34, where Jennifer made an appearance to defend the Fantastic Four in court. But they kind of made mention about something happening with Lockjaw and the fact that all these stores and stuff got demolished and something else here. So I don't know.
Getting risky there. Anyway, Cindy Cap says, my standards are very non-standard, and we appreciate that. And Damian Walburn says, Shulky in the house. Joseph King's asking, what's up? Glad to have you here, Joseph. And comics are so dope. And Sarah, glad you were here. Mwah, take care. And she's getting stuff together for Goodwill. And Cindy Kemp says she knows what's going. It's not that she knows what's going on with Jack.
The Shadow knows.
Shadow knows. Shadow knows.
Maybe she is running from the Shadow, and she has to keep what's going on as a secret.
There you go. See, there we go. Well, anyway, thank you again, Joe. Very well done. Very well done. So, Brian, did you want to go next?
Nah.
Okay, screw it.
Wait. I was about to give Rick Bradley a quick little applause here because I just read what he said. It's like he tripled. It's right, went from 18 to 47.
All right. Yes. Well done, Rick.
Nice.
Well done.
All right.
Super.
Very
All right.
nice,
That's great,
sir.
man. See, I told you. I'm a prophet. I knew it. And I told him his viewership is going to go up and everything. Yay, Rick. You and Donovan did great Monday night. Check out that R&D Gaming. It is a terrific show. And multi-threaded plots can take some doing to set up, says Cindy Kept. And go, Rick. Go, Rick. Well, that's the one thing I was noticing about the She-Hulk. That I'm sitting here going, boy, these conversations are taking a damn long time. But the art was very nice and very supportive because it is not easy drawing conversations where there's no real action. So,
because I don't follow Marvel at all anymore. I don't follow DC anymore either. I don't follow mainstream very much. But so, like, is Marvel just like slice of life stories now?
No,
because that's what this feels like.
No, but again, if I really went into the history of the She-Hulk started out as slice of life while she was fighting the villain of the week or the villain of the month.
Oh, okay.
And then when it got to sensational She-Hulk, it became more of slice of life / parody or commentary about comics as a whole, especially dealing with superheroines.
Gotcha.
And then it went into like slice of life as a hero itself up under Dan Slott. So that slice of life aspect of Jennifer has always been there. The book has never been truly an action adventure series. It was more along the lines of how do you balance being a lawyer as well as doing superhero work for like the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and all this other stuff.
Okay, cool.
And again, because of Dan Slott, we actually got superhuman law because again, before then, there was no real governing body as far as how supervillains were truly punished or how superheroes got out of trouble with the law. Dan Slott introduced that whole concept of there's another governing body that deals specifically with the laws and regulations of being a superhero through her book.
Okay.
And like I said, the last one, I can't remember who did the Hulk series, when she turned gray for the second time. I still feel that was the best series of the She-Hulk ever because she actually had to deal with mortality, loss, and all this other stuff dealing with PTSD. The fact that she couldn't turn green anymore and having a part of herself hate herself.
You know, I heard that
the gray version of her hated Jennifer.
Yeah,
because she actually showed weakness.
I heard that in the show She-Hulk that they were maybe going to explore Gray Hulk with Bruce Banner, and then that's how they introduce She-Hulk as, you know, traditional green. I don't know. That's just a rumor that I heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of rumors, but nothing has really came out about what they're truly doing.
Yeah,
I heard Maestro might be coming.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Be very cool. Damien Wilburn has some comments here. It was the Byrne run that made it what people think of as a She-Hulk story. I agree with those. Byrne had two great runs on that book, mainly because they couldn't sustain an ongoing for her in the 80s, hence her addition to the FF, where she was amazing, again by John Byrne, and the slice of life lawyer sitcom feel.
Okay, cool.
Steve.
Yeah, that was kind of, I was like, is this what it's supposed to be? Because if it is, it's doing a good job. I was just like, I was confused because I'm not up to date on how that. I've never been familiar with She-Hulk. That's just never really been a Carl's.
Yeah, I think that's the cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that
I
or
think
Carl
that's
smells
Callie.
toast.
I think that's
Sure.
cat.
Or Carl's having a stroke.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Anyway, Carl's cat has voted 1,000 times for number 1. So, and yeah, I thought so. Sorry,
Yeah.
Calvin had to comment by sitting on the keys. Oh, God. Well, I'll take that as a vote for number 1, which, again, is Action Comics. Come on, you know you love them. Number 2, and here we go. Get familiar, Rodam.
Hey, man. Hey, I got stuff to do. That's why I can't I gotta get familiar with my own stuff.
There you go. And Damien, if you want to counter Brian's productivity, you've got a script here. Not that I'm outing you or anything, but anyway.
I need a recap of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought Jason Sudeikis was just a dirtbag, but my gosh, there it is.
I know. I try. I'm trying.
Yeah.
No,
Damien,
I love
Damien, you come
I
work with me. I won't
understand,
treat you like that.
Ooh, there it is. This is fun for me. Where's the popcorn?
And now, special guest star Chad Nuss. Anyway, ouch. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Now you know what Eric
See,
goes through.
that's life as a dingo.
That's right.
Life
That's right.
is a
It's
dingo.
thankless.
Yep.
No, I love you, Damien. Whenever you get it done is fine with me. It will be worth waiting for. And speaking of waiting for, but while we're waiting for Brian, don't forget we've got that poll going up. Do you want to get a review of Action Comics number 1042? You've got to have the 1043 to 1041 in front to understand it. Or do you want Jim Rugg's Hulk Grand Design Madness? And
Quack, quack, gobble, gobble.
We're getting there. Or do you want issue 2 of Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Or do you want issue 2 of We Have Demons by Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and friends? Or do you want the Unbeatable Blue Baron, another number 1, because they know what they're doing? Or number 6, The Death of the Justice League? Or the secret number 7?
I want to know how they all die. Just tell me.
I want
That's
to
right.
know how they all die too.
In detail.
Yes, and Jennifer Hawkins just tuned in, and I'm worried what Eric has told you guys since Joe keeps calling me a She-Hulk. Oh, nothing but love, though, I'm sure, Jennifer. And Damien goes,
No,
Godzilla,
dear, that's
number
the character's
3.
name. It's Jennifer Walters, right?
Yeah,
Jennifer Walters.
exactly.
That's right, yeah.
She's Bruce Banner's cousin. She became the She-Hulk by getting a blood transfusion.
Exactly.
We will watch the Disney Plus show when it comes out, so you'll know.
There you go. You know you're going to be watching it. And Carl Wisman says she's kind of sexy, Jennifer, so it's okay. Strong, independent
Not
woman,
as
Jennifer.
sexy as my Jennifer, though.
There, way to save yourself.
Good recovery.
Yeah,
Good recovery,
man.
sir.
All married guys are now dropping, notes. Say, I got to remember that. Anyway, so when next time, guys, you're in trouble with your girlfriend or your significant other, just say, well, Jennifer's really sexy. Sexy or She-Hulk.
Yeah, it's only going to work for some of us.
Works every time, gang. Let us know how it goes. Anyway, so Brian, do you want me to, oh Lord, it is getting deep. Says Jennifer. We love you, Jennifer. So
I'll go
Brian, do
next.
you want to go next?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let Brian go next. We look forward to your review. What have you, sir?
This will be a little short and sweet. I'm mostly I don't want to spoil a whole lot. I'm gonna just kind of
Just like
briefly
me.
go over issue 1, because I do have the trade paperback of volume 1 of Noctera by Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel, Tamao Mori. I don't know how to say that first name. Sorry if I
Easy
butchered
for you
it.
to say.
I don't know. And
The Boba Fett actor?
I don't think so. And
Jimbo.
this book is about, on the surface, it's about kind of vampire-esque stuff, but it actually has a lot in. I did not plan this. It has a very similar story plot line
Oh,
another
good
book.
God.
that we have going on right now. If you just go to that bit.ly link, If any of this appeals to you, but on a more kid-friendly level, go back to Nebulizer #2 on Kickstarter. You'll enjoy it. Hashtag always promote. But and I'm actually not kidding. So this book, the first issue, just to kind of preface it, it's about this main character named Val, and she drives a big rig, and she's what's called a ferryman. And what happened at some point, we don't know. Well, I don't know yet because I've only read issue 1 of this trade. Right now, I think it's in the 30s, and it's from Image Comics. It's a I feel like it has to be more than a monthly. It came out last year, and it's already in issue 30. So I think, yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's come out rather frequently. But anyway, it is at some point in history. They call it the great PM, and that's the new, like, you know how you have like AD or BC. Now it's PM, which I think that's pretty cool. Where darkness just appeared in the middle of the day. It became night, and at the end of the issue, someone references that a character killed the sun, which that's all we know so far in issue 1. But essentially, the story is her ferrying people into areas where there's lots of light, because you have to have some kind of light shining on you, or you will become a creature. If you sit in the dark too long, or if you're bitten by one of these creatures or anything, you transform into this weird mutant thing that they called shades. And it's similar to the Nebulizer in the sense of, instead of allergen mutants, you have darkness mutants. And that's literally what's happening here. Is they're not vampires. They're not like they're things that you would think of, like, if you're scared of the dark. This is what happens in the dark. And it's just a really cool concept. So we start off, we're introduced to Val as a kid. And she's just talking about what, where were you when the great PM happened? And people ask you that, and in the middle, I love this. In the middle of her class, she's drawing a picture of her and her family, and the sun is blocked out. And so all the parents come and pick the kids up, and she's very concerned. She's in the car with her family at this point. They're heading home. Her parents are freaking out, and we meet her brother, Emery, and they have a stereotypical brother and sister relationship. And then we go into year 13 PM. And we see an older adult Val who is driving her big rig through the darkness. And she is ferrying a group of people who have their various ways of staying well lit. And artificial light, obviously. And we are introduced slightly to this grandfather and his granddaughter, or so we are told in issue 1. And obviously they're the only passengers that have dialogue, so you're like, okay, there's something significant about them. And we are briefly introduced to some minor shade monsters. They're like mutated birds, and they attack the big rig, and somebody gets snatched because they freak out and try to go open the back of the big rig, and they get their face grabbed and taken out. And then there's a pretty radical fight. We see Val and she gets out of the rig and puts it on autopilot and goes out and fights these monsters. And that's what she looks like, all decked out. She's got her entire body covered. And I imagine that on the inside there are artificial lights that are completely, that have her entire body lit up so she doesn't turn into this thing.
Ooh.
Now this, they do, she does explain that there are different types of shades in the book, or in this world, and we haven't met the human shade creatures. So these are just animals that have mutated into by the darkness, and then once that happened for a while, this is 13 years in, after that's happened for a while, they've created new species of dark shade creatures. So some of these creatures resemble animals, and some of these creatures are brand new. They were born out of the shade mutation. And but lo and behold, they get to the outpost safe and sound, minus the lady who got her face grabbed, and it's all well lit, and I gotta get a lot of Walking Dead vibes as well with this book. This 2-page spread is gorgeous.
Nice.
I love this.
Wow.
She explains that this was an old light bulb factory.
Hmm.
And they were having their like anniversary celebration, because it was like a factory town, and so they were having a big to-do. Everything was lit up. They had a Ferris wheel for a carnival, and that's how everything was in this town when the sun stopped and all the shade monsters started popping up. So they were conveniently in a safe place, and more and more people gravitated towards it. So we then get to kind of follow Val as she introduce the person who pretty much runs the ferryman business, and she's a really cool character. She only pops up a couple times, but she has a lot of spunky attitude, and the grandfather and the granddaughter approach Val and tell her that they have a job for her, that there is a place where there is natural sunlight, and that he knows where it is, and he wants to hire Val to take them there. And she's like, why would you? A lot of questions. She rejects it. She's like, why would you go there and then leave again? And he's just really shady. Doesn't really answer any questions. Now we are introduced to Emery, Val's brother. And throughout the first few pages of the book, we see that something's up with him. She keeps asking him where he's been, where he was on a certain night, and he's like, don't worry about it. Let's focus on getting you home safe. Well, now she's home safe. And they are hashing this out because now other people, the guards of the outpost, have heard that he snuck out a few nights ago and came back. And unfortunately, he's starting to become a shade creature because the mutation starts in the gums.
Gingivitis.
I know. And it's interesting. The only thing that really seems to slow things down or give you any kind of chance from turning into a shade creature is dialysis. So they're trying one last ditch effort, to cure him and to keep it hush hush while they're doing so he's just not, killed, to keep everyone safe. And then she finds out that there was supposedly the charges that she uses to power his dialysis, they were running out. And so she found a way to go to this other city and get like a month and a half's worth of charge so that they could continue to perform dialysis on Emery so that he would have more of a chance. Well, she then finds out that this city has been completely destroyed and was taken over by shade monsters. And so she has no other choice but to take the grandfather and his granddaughter up on their offer, because she needs the money and they need to figure out what to do with Emery. Now, this is where the issue ends. And we are introduced to quite possibly one of the coolest looking characters I have ever seen in comics. It's a very simple design. Some may call this cheating. I call it brilliant. He has a nano black suit that the only thing visible is the man's teeth.
Yeah.
First of all, that's super creepy. Second of all, if it touches your skin and you're not used to it, it melts your skin.
Nice.
So obviously he's the villain of this arc, at least. And he is after the old man and his granddaughter because the old man is the man who killed the son.
Oh no.
And that's
Gordon?
issue 1. I know.
Because he looks like Gordon.
He looks like Gordon.
Commissioner
He does.
Gordon.
Yes.
And that's issue 1. I love this. I love issue 1. I'm going to finish this book tonight because I can't wait to then jump on the rest of the issues and put this in my pull box. So I'm going to add this to. I will be adding this to my pull box after I'm caught up. I can't wait to jump into it. For an issue 1, it is stellar. The artwork is beautiful. The coloring is fantastic. The storytelling is Scott Snyder. Need I say more?
Yeah.
This is a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
At least issue 1 is. And I am so excited that I've stumbled upon this series. And I'm so excited that I'm late to the party, so I get more to ingest all at once. I love binge reading. It's great. So, 10 out of 10. Noctera, check it out. Go to your local comic book store. All of them are in the first trade paperback is in every store. So,
All right. And
have
if
at
not,
it.
it should be.
Yeah, if it's not, then they can order it for you.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Brian. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And let's see. Jennifer Hawkins said earlier, "Oh Lord, it is getting deep." And Donna Carlene goes, "Jennifer, what do you mean getting?" I think she's right. Ted Davies Artistry says, "Hawkins new Kickstarter: Love Life Tips of a Married Man." Followed with a free coupon for a burial. Anyway, Rick Bradley says, "I vote 1 for BKM. I bought Godzilla versus Power Rangers #2 yesterday and haven't had a chance to read it. And this book is about 24 pages," says Cindy Kep. "And don't pay the ferryman. Don't even fix a price." For all you Krista Berg fans out there, that one's for you. And very true, says Jennifer Hawkins. Rick Bradley says, "If you stay in the dark too long, you turn. Man, Teenage Mew would be screwed." Me from last 10 years would be a mess. And Ryan Permison, we'll get to this later, Ryan, when we're done with my review. Which, by the way, give us time to think about it. Top 3 graded comics you won in your collection and why? All right. Well, first of all, one last go through. Action Comics number 1042. If you haven't voted, please vote now. Jim Rugg, Hulk Grand Design Madness. The history of the Hulk there. And Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is currently number 2 in the voting, I believe. We have Demons by Scott Snyder and company. The
Great
Unbeatable book. Blue Baron, which is my 10 out of 10 this week, I will have you know. And The Death of the Justice League, issue 75, final issue of this. And The Mystery number 8. Or number 7, excuse me. Number 7.
There's no
7.
8.
Mathis Heart.
Anyway, here we go. And I'm going to, Cindy, I like your question too. We will get that at the end of the show too. So, well, unless anybody pops up with another vote, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but number 6 has won.
That is correct, by 1 vote.
By 1 vote. And number 3 is next. So we might keep this till next week. I will, and Rick Bradley, that's a great question there. We'll cover that when we're done too. So I will take over the screen here, and we'll get rid of the wannabes. This one, yeah, this one is I gotta give it an 8 out of 10. The Superman story is starting to pick up again finally because we're starting to see Superman. The art is kind of pastel, and not a big fan of that, although it isn't bad. And then the Martian Manhunter story comes to an end. This takes you up to about 2007. This is a well-done book, a great way to see the history of the Hulk. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. We will hold off on this one. We have Demons. I read it, and it's as exciting as the first issue. I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10. This is a definite 10 out of 10. If you love old-time Marvel storytelling, this is a great book to pick up on. Now, this was number 1, and there's a reason I'm doing it in this order. Death of the Justice League, number 75.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, and Ted Davies' artistry, yes, it's all about Superman, this issue, yes. Anyway, no, if you've been following Joshua Williamson's stuff for the last couple of years, he's setting us up for Dark Crisis. Yeah, we need another crisis because the first 15 weren't enough. Anyway, and of course, this is like no surprise. It's got a beautiful cover. This is a plastic cover, which, because it's dark, will show your fingerprints like no tomorrow, but you can clean them off, is the nice thing. And this was kind of like the Marvels series from many, many years ago, in that you open this and you have everybody going, oh, they're all singing old Queen songs. Nicely done. But it starts out with Justice Leaguer Black Adam being pulled out of his daily flight, as are about 9 or 10 other people, including Superman, Hawkwoman, Batman, Diana, John Stewart, Black Canary, but unfortunately for everyone, Oliver Queen grabs her, which he's prone to do. They're grown-ups, and winds up being teleported along with Aquaman and John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, where they meet Justice League Infinite. All right, with Captain Carrot, President, Superman, the Flash of China, Dino Cop, Mary Marvel, Aquawoman, and Thunderer. And they're all brought up to speed by the President of the United States in another world about how the Infinite Crisis has taken a toll on them, that Barry Allen of Earth 1 is trapped on Earth 0 with a 0 vibrational rate. And he has been fooled into thinking that he's home and everything is fine when it's not. And what they come upon is the ruins of a dead multiverse. Ooh, ominous. And big surprise, they've been saying it up. It is it's Pariah, who is tired of seeing worlds die. So he decides he's going to kill this one, and he's got some dark army friends to help it happen. All right? Versions of bad guys from other dimensions, and lots of fights, lots of sound effects, and a big full-page thing of John Stewart in his new Green Lantern identity. And, of course, I'm not going to do that. That's a spoiler, but it was pretty cool. And just when you think Green Arrow, of course, has saved the day, because that's what he does, he gets stomped by Doomsday. I hate when that happens. Now, this is kind of, and I will say that he is then rushed by the Trinity, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. And Eric, you'll like this, reminiscent of the Flash's Barry Allen's death in Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8, I think it was. I think somewhere in there. Anyway, the main 3 are taken out of existence, followed by just about everyone else. And, of course, Black Adam gets the last word. And now this is kind of disconcerting, though, because you see Black Adam getting his head handed to him, and you're wondering, well, who's next? Oh, my God, he got Thomas Wayne, too. No, it's an ad for Flashpoint Beyond.
Thomas Wayne to save the day.
I know, right? And then it cuts to Earth 1. It's like, where the heck is the Justice League? And, of course, we get Detective Chimp, which means it's worth it to me, plus John Kent, Wally West, Naomi, and Black Adam announces that the Justice League is dead. And, of course, you'll find out more in Dark Crisis, coming this soon to DC Comics. And not unexpected, because we all know this was coming, right? Not badly done. Would have liked to have seen more than just a fight throughout the whole thing. Would have liked to have seen a little less one-sided. I'm giving this a 6.5.
Oh,
man.
because they
Wow.
killed Superman. What will Ted Davies do now? Okay.
Well,
Now,
yeah, what are you going to buy if Superman's
Right.
dead?
First one Superman.
This has been the last episode of Comic Book Spectrum as we know it. Okay. So anyway, and yeah, I know. Just for you, Ted. And another crisis. I barely got to the CW crisis. Excuse me.
Oh, the CW was a crisis.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a fun one, though. And practicing their coloratura. Yes. And hey, you forgot Dino Cop. No, Dino Cop was in there. I think I mentioned him. But it had Captain Carrot. That was far more important. So anyway, that was
You
my
said
review.
Captain Carrot, and I thought you meant Flaming Carrot. I'm like, what's he doing?
I thought you meant Carrot Top.
No.
I
No,
would hate
no
to see
Carrot Top,
Flaming
no.
Carrot in here. And Rick Bradley says, Superman dead again? Well, that was part of why they did this.
Well, I was trying to figure out where Doomsday came from. Isn't he dead too?
Well, he's part
No,
of the Dark
one
Army.
incarnation of Doomsday is dead.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, but since we got some votes for these real quick, real good, real fun, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. And we see Rita Repulsa in this issue, and it's just a joy to read. And now number 7, you're probably wondering what number 7 was. I'm going to review it anyway. And not even my co-stars know what that is. It's a book I got.
It's Memoirs of an Angel.
Oh, no.
Oh, shush you.
I mean, that's surprising me.
Copyright. Anyway, it is Memoirs of an Angel by our very own Brian Rodman.
Someone scribbled on the front of it. Jeez.
I know, now it's worthless. Look at all
It
that
was
damn ink
Luna.
on it. Jeez, you know? And poor Brian, he's like, oh, jeez, what's he going to say about it? Anyway, this is great. I'm not joking. This is really good. Brian just keeps getting better and better. And I'm not saying this because he's my friend. I'm not saying this because he's here. Because as we all know, I don't have a human soul and no empathy for any living being whatsoever. Isn't that right, honey?
Yeah, that's about right.
See? Cookie.
I didn't even know Cookie was there. That's all.
Karaoke.
You were around. So,
We
put your
got
hand.
single karaoke.
Cookie.
Oh, we get a single barrel. We get a single barrel. We don't get the double.
You get the double barrel later. She's holding a glass.
He's just like it dumped out to you.
We're done. Anyway, thank you, honey. So anyway, this is this is number 8, but it's chapter 9, The Labyrinth. Brian went through the public school system
It was
and could
hard.
match them up.
Math
And
don't
it-
make no sense for me.
And of course, what JLA has said, they were still alive. Yes. And Cindy kept, go Brian. I'm trying. And I'm
No,
well
not
aware,
that.
no
Not
soul.
you, Brian. The other Brian, Rodman Brian.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this is The Labyrinth. Now, the artwork is beautiful. The color choices are spectacular. Seriously, this stuff pops at you. And Brian has made so many strides since the earliest issues. His art has gotten a lot better. And it was good to begin with. His color palette is wonderful. I love how when the characters are possessed, even their word balloons change color. That is a nice way to show that people are changing, and lots of great panoramas, solid storytelling, good dialogue, and movement. Things are happening in here. And of course, there's twists and turns. And look, even within the color palette of green, which you'll notice that like different areas are set off by different colors. Okay, skillful use of color. And even then, the color. Look how it's kind of quiet here, but as we get to the battle, suddenly it's vibrant. Good choice, Brian. Seriously. And I like how this panel kind of repeats later on to good effect. And then you get some background on the characters and all kinds of wonderful stuff. It just draws you. And look at the panoramas this guy is now starting to draw. This is sort of stuff you see Jack Kirby laying out. This is the sort of thing you see epic. This screams epic. And then it has a nice little ending here with people coming to terms with each other, a couple of surprises, and I'm not going to give away the ending, but it mixes Judeo-Christian legend with Cthulhu. And what's even better is, well, two things that are wonderful in here. I got to give a shout out in loving memory to Brian Hawkins, Meredith Loughran, and Wendy Lambert. Plus, and if that wasn't enough, my name is in here. So that's the reason enough to buy it. And then a teaser for next issue intended for mature audiences, which means I shouldn't be reading it. But then we've got, let me make sure I get the name right. Braxton Gaither has the variant cover, which is really gorgeous.
Oh, he did so good. Just capturing the tone of that whole scene.
He did.
He did such a good job with it. He
really did. But this cover ain't no slouch either. All right.
all right.
Shut up. Anyway, I'm not worried about your feelings either. But anyway, again, I think I gave the last issue a 10 out of 10, and this continues. Same thing, 10 out of 10. Brian, beautiful job. And definitely go to brianrodman.com and check out what Brian is putting out these days. And please, for the love of God, give some love to the Nebulizer, currently funding on Kickstarter. And we don't mean for this to sound like a catalog thing, you know, buy our stuff, but buy our stuff. This stuff is good. This is good stuff. I have backed it, not just because I like Brian, but because I like really good comics.
For only 3 easy payments of $29.99.
Yeah.
Plus!
Or $2.99 a minute. Just like the usual stuff. And also get this one too. Also proud of this guy. Looking out for, and proud of Joe. We're going to be proud of you when your stuff comes out. But anyway, definitely check out the Nebulizer. It is good stuff. Brian is showing how versatile he is, and again, 10 out of 10 on this one.
Put back Dogs of War of Oz, because that's going to be the last time people are going to get the first 3 issues by itself.
That's true.
That's true.
Offering the single issues anymore in the campaign won't happen. You can only buy the trade paperback. And actually, this campaign will be the only one that has a hardback. I'm not offering that the second time either.
Ooh.
The trade paperback will go on, but the hardback won't.
And my heart will go on. But anyway,
yeah.
check it out what this talented guy's done. Very proud of you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it.
I do have to say this. I am quite disappointed with the death of the Justice League. But for a different reason. For a different reason, though.
Yeah.
And that reason is dealing with what they got through, dealing with a couple of stories, including Future State. Because the resolution of Future State showed the restoration of the multiverse.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Quintessence were dead. This story kind of tossed that out the window. That never happened.
Yeah.
And now we got this. So it's like there is no more continuity there at DC. What in the world is going on?
Well, it could be that maybe this is out of order. That maybe this happens before Future State is what I was thinking. You know,
or maybe like the rest of us, they don't want Future State to
happen.
Yeah.
That could
or
be.
comics just don't have continuity anymore at all.
We have a winner.
Correct answer.
Yeah. Well, you know, I remember
unless it's the Nebulizer, Amazonia, the Zombie World of Oz, or Memoirs of an Angel.
Yeah, they all have.
They all interconnect.
Yeah, and anything this guy writes.
That's right, and you'll love it because we have the good Batman. Anyway, but no, yeah, I remember when Daniel Cherry first took over as like basic honcho of DC a year and a half ago. He announced that continuity was not going to be as strong a motivation for stories as it had been in the past. And I was kind of glad of that because I remember when I was growing up, every editor at DC had their own universe. So like you may have the Golden Giants taking over the planet in The Flash under Julie Schwartz, but Superman doesn't know nothing about it because he's off relighting a sun with a giant matchstick in Action Comics. And the war comics don't care. The romance comics don't care. Whereas now, everyone would be oh my God, the Golden Giants are taking us over. Where's Superman with his matchsticks? And I kind of welcome that, the idea that we get a good story, maybe. And if it screws up with the continuity, all you fans figure it out.
Did Superman really carry around giant matchsticks?
Yes. Yes.
Wasn't this the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Again, I believe these two down here.
Yeah.
Down here probably
The
never
kids.
read the King Superman story. King Superman stories were warped. Very warped.
I have never read them, but I am aware of them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you know anything about Golden Age, Silver Age comic books, you know about that.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like Mort Weisinger, who was the editor back then, had a sign over his desk, and it said basically, our audience is 8 years old.
Yeah.
And he used to, this is a very early form of not marketing, but audience data mining, in that he would invite neighborhood kids, like 8 to 10, give them a handful of comics and let them read them, which of course they're thrilled, and said, what'd you like about them? What did you not like about them? Who do you want to see Superman fight in the future?
First focus groups.
Exactly, focus groups. Exactly, Joe. And
hey, Brian, you try to do that today. Pull up in your cow god and say, "Hey, kids, you want some free comics?"
it comes with candy. We're going to read comics by the river. It's a different world now. But no, some of the '60s comics were silly, but they were so much fun too.
Hey, man, if it weren't for the '60s comics, we wouldn't have had the '80s comics.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We would have never had Frank Miller.
Yep.
Do all of his amazing things.
That's true. And we can mention Frank Miller because that was one of our topics. We were
See what I
talking.
did there?
You did, man. You good work. Good work. High fives. High fives. Frank Miller has announced that if you don't know who Frank Miller is, anyway, creator of one of the greatest stories ever told, that is Born Again with Daredevil. Certainly one of my top 5. But anyway, yes, and the Elektra Saga, the creator of Elektra, and also The Dark Knight Returns, things like that. And
he's done some stuff.
He's done some stuff. He's got a pedigree.
He wrote a comic or two.
Yes, he did.
He's been around the block.
And plus he did The Spirit, but the less said about that, the better. Anyway,
we don't talk about that. That movie should. Well,
I will say this: the movie works great as a comedy.
Yes, that's the only way to do it. Here's my imitation of Will Eisner after the movie came out. Anyway, but anyway, let's see. And Ted Davies Artistry says, Rodman, don't cry. Wait till I review it.
I teared up.
Was that bad? I'm sorry.
No, it was just like the old commercial with the Indian seeing everything in disarray. And just see that one tear just flow down.
Exactly, that one lone tear. Yeah. And that alternate cover artist on the Nebulizer too is pretty good. Well, I put in an order for that based on the fact that artist is awesome. Cindy Cap says continuity won't be as big an issue. Equals we're making this stuff up as we go, which is how comics should be anyway. And Rick Bradley says, and if we didn't have the 90s comics, we wouldn't have pouches, big guns.
Yeah.
Pouches.
Lots of pouches, lots of damn pouches. Good point, Rick. Thank you very much. But no, he has announced, Frank Miller has announced the formation of his own independent comic book company with, and this is the part that actually makes me happy. Dan Didio is the effective publisher. I always liked Dan Didio.
And I think DC screwed him over.
I do too. I think he got boned badly. And and it's kind of funny because he had that idea for 5G, which is basically future state.
Yep.
And they took it out from under him and said, oh, we're not going to do that 5G crap. In fact, instead, let's do this really good thing called future state. Anyway, So I'm excited by that, and it'll be nice.
Why did you do that for Future State?
I didn't care for most of Future State.
Because again, Future State was really more or less a somewhat preview of what Gen 5 was going to be.
Exactly, yeah.
And there were some things that came out good with
I agree.
Future State. Not all of it.
Oh, no.
The legacy characters to me were done horrible in Future
I agree.
State.
That's my
The
point,
newer
really.
characters, some of them were actually quite awesome.
I liked, what was it, Superman versus Imperious Rex. Because to me, that we reviewed it on this program long ago. To me, that was a Roadrunner cartoon with Superman as the Roadrunner.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm fine. I'll be right back.
Okay. I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, he's dead again. Anyway.
It's like DC Comics. Help me, dude. Help me.
So it isn't allergens Brian is allergic to. It's apparently DC Comics. Sorry, see, Ted? Not everybody can handle them. Anyway, but no, I agree with you, Joe, completely. That I don't think the legacy characters came out very well. We did get a few good characters, and oddly enough, it's like I've been reviewing Son of Superman. The John Kent book.
We got the breakout character of that year because of Future State, which is Yara Flor.
Yeah, Yara Flor.
Outsold her. Nothing really outsold her based upon the numbers.
That's true, and her stuff was good. And DC does seem to have faith in that character, which I'm glad to see. But it's like John Kent. As much as I love the current Superman, Son of Kal-El, I thought his book was awful. In fact, if that was the first book I bought, and I was seriously tempted not to go any further because this was really nasty stuff. Rick Bradley says Raziel is watching the Wiggles and they just sang a song named Ooey 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 Allergies. Feel better, Mr. Rodman. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help him. Thanks a lot, Rick. Anyway, and Rick's singing along. That's the problem. But anyway, no, I agree with you. And I want to, and that's probably another reason why I didn't care for this. Now, of course, I've been reading comics longer than most of the people working on them have been alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why 30 years ago, when CNN is saying Superman is dead, I knew it wasn't permanent. There's so much merchandising that revolves just around the Trinity alone. This is only temporary. It always is. Heaven has a revolving door. And folks, if anyone's asking a lot of money for it on eBay, get it right now, because I guarantee, like the Superman 75 and its variants, the prices on them are going to plummet in about 2 years or whenever they bring Superman back. And I'm going on record right now.
They ever go up?
Sorry?
Did they ever go up?
Sometimes they do, because the speculators get in there. It's like, oh, they're killing Superman. And of course, people who maybe don't have the experience like we do, and the innate cynicism that some of us do, that they are like, oh my God, they actually killed Superman.
See, I'm not going to make my prediction yet, because I see something completely different. But I agree with you to a greater degree.
Okay, all right.
The Justice League technically is not, the main three, the Trinity, and a lot of the characters that we saw die.
Right.
I don't think they're gone forever, but I got a different prediction than you.
Okay. All right. I won't pressure you for it until the after show. And Rick Bradley says, after watching a show numerous times and the songs are catchy, yes, I am singing along. Kill me now. Will do, Rick. We are on our way. And Carl Weston says, the multiverse made it even easier to bring back characters. That's true. That's a good observation, Carl. It did. And I like the idea that all the stupid stories in the past existed. It gives it a little more verisimilitude for me. Rick Bradley, yeah, they have yet another Amazing Spider-Man #1 out yesterday. I just shook my head at it. Yeah, how many Amazing Spider-Mans have there been in our lifetime? I think about 3 or 4, if not more.
Oh, crap. They have Junior doing it again?
Yes. Junior is back. JR
Well,
Jr.
that would have been
is-
worth buying it to see him do Spider-Man again because he can't draw DC characters to save his life.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed with his DC run, unfortunately.
Hey,
but
of course, it just might be he's getting old too. I mean, that might be it.
he's he's a junior, but he's got to be somewhere around my age.
Oh yeah, I'd say he might be older than you.
Yeah, I think because now that I think of it, I think you're right. Because I remember his first contribution to Spider-Man was designing the Prowler, and I think that was back in the late '60s.
Oh crap, he's only 65.
Oh God, I'm older than he is, but not by much. Not by much. I'm getting older every day. And great show, great comics, and great reviews. Much love. Love you, Ted. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. But yeah, and I read about this one. Mary Jane apparently has kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So I predict she's a stepmom. But anyway, so
I mean, if you want me to go ahead with the prediction, I could go ahead and tell you.
if you'd like to, no pressure though. Seriously.
Now, this is what I predict based upon that book, because I want to read it myself. And this is what I truly predict because of the way that they're looking at things.
Uh-huh.
Because there are so many newer characters and so many characters that can take on other people's mantles, the multiverse is about to get recreated, but in such a way that it was equivalent to back in the day, where you had an Earth 2 Wonder Woman, and that Earth 2 Wonder Woman had no inclination about any other Wonder Woman that was there. So I have a feeling that this incarnation with the main characters dying off, that, as they figure out what they're going to do in the Dark Crisis and everything, and they bring everything back, as the end result, the multiverse gets recreated, but the characters that we know as a whole will lose memories of what happened within the other Earths. That's my prediction. It seems like everything is leading. It seems like everything is leading up to that, because why change continuity the way that you're doing unless something major like that happens at the very end? You get everything back, but they have no crossover with one another anymore.
Or make the crossovers special, like they used to do, like the annual Justice League crossovers. I remember growing up, and it's like, comic distribution back in the day before comic shops was crap where I lived. I lived in a very small community in East Central Illinois, and we didn't get the 2 issues in a row very often of the big 2.
Oh.
No,
I just reading what was said here.
Okay.
Check messages here, but it's not good. It's not good, but it's understandable.
Okay. All right. Hold on here. Let's see here. Brian and okay. All right. I'm skimming. Oh, okay.
That's why I said, uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. We will spare Brian the indignity of what's going on. But Brian, if you're listening, don't worry. It'll all come out in the end. You'll be fine. Anyway.
Oh, wait, hold on. What did he do? I won't spare him.
Well, let's just say he's a few pounds lighter now.
Oh, God.
At this time, he doesn't have to worry about napkins.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. We're leaving that as it is. Anyway.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Not the first time.
Yeah. Well, let's just say he'll be less full of it than the rest of us are. But anyway, no, Joe, I agree with you completely. And it sounds so 5G, because, the original Dan Didio idea was that there would be like a Golden Age version, a 60s version, then like a Silver Age, like just before
Bronze Age version,
Bronze Age,
modern day,
and then future.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. I have no problem with there being different iterations of these characters. I said for years that I could always keep the different world versions straight. It was Jerry Conway who couldn't. And unfortunately, he was the one writing Justice League for so long. Anyway, Rick Bradley goes, should we chip in for a bidet for Mr. Rodman? It sounds like we may need 3 or 4 of them. So anyway, all contributions will be gratefully accepted, and Brian will be running his GoFundMe from there. Anyway, but no, I think it's a good prediction, and we will see what happens to come. Yeah, I do think that as much as I like Joshua Williamson, and I have made no secret of the fact that I've been enjoying the various infinite books that he's done over the last year or so. It's just that this read like a placeholder.
It was rushed.
Yeah, it read rushed. Yeah, and it's like we're going to kill these characters off, and that's in air quotes. That's in big air quotes. Kill these characters off.
It shouldn't have been rushed. They announced it months ago.
But it was rushed. If you paid attention, it's like they ended all of these story arcs that were running.
Yeah.
And you only get that one issue to explain how they die. One issue.
Yeah.
Across multiple books that is going to affect. It's need more than one issue.
Yeah. I agree.
And again, I'm about to get ready to review the whole 7-part series of Trial of the Amazons.
Yeah.
And what happens there, what happens here should have affected that.
Right.
But it's not. So that's why I said it's like it was rushed. Nobody had any forethought as far as what was going on.
Yeah, and it's like I don't follow Green Lantern month for month, so I didn't know about John Stewart basically being, as green as Bruce Banner there, but Superman, for instance, it does say he's in orbit over War World, and he's back in his costume, but in action, he is still
Barbarian.
He's still shirtless Cal, and it isn't that, like here's a picture of him right there. He hasn't worn his suit in about 3 or 4 months, and he's been depowered. So that's why I think some of this takes place a little bit in the future. Probably after the Amazons have settled their issue, after Superman has come back from war or is on, who knows what he's doing on War World. But he's spending, it's become a great Midnighter and Apollo book. Let's put it that way. But
we still got questions, don't we? We got 3 questions, I think.
We do have questions. Are you okay, Brian?
Yeah, he's drinking water.
Things are good.
He probably needs
Things are all right now.
Okay, good. Anyway, probably let's see. Damian Waldron says, ask him if the conversation we had at work is still correct. He'll know what this means.
It is my status has remained the same, Damian.
You were still the master of your domain?
I am still the master of my domain.
And he's
in all counts of that phrase.
Okay, all right. All right.
You asked.
Well, if you're doing that while you're doing the other, you got issues.
No, that's weird. That's a weird combination right there.
Yeah, and Rick Bradley says someone told me about a Batman series that had the villains from the '60s show switch worlds with the villains from a violent Batman world, hijinks and suits. I would pay for that. I would seriously pay for that.
Just to see Frank Miller's Batman fight the 66 villains, they'd all die.
I know.
within minutes.
Oh shit!
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because some of the 60s villains, if given the right motivation, they were actually deadlier than Frank Miller's versions.
That's true. Potentially. That's right.
I mean, think about it. Riddler is 1960s was somebody that you just really didn't want to play with as far as the mental game is concerned.
Yeah, he was nuts. He was totally nuts.
But if you think about it, like Frank Miller's Batman would literally just walk up to him and snap his neck.
If he got close enough to him, that's the question.
That's true.
If he got close enough to Riddler.
Yeah, because Riddler could jump out of the way. Frank Gorshin was pretty agile. Now, we are reminded we do have 3 questions, and they are excellent questions. Rick Bradley asks, who do you think the Power Rangers need to meet next?
I'm waiting for this series to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. We're only going to get a death battle to it.
Yeah.
I want to see Power Rangers versus Voltron.
That's what I was going to say.
I like it. I was thinking the base
Blind
Rollers.
Voltron, not that crappy one.
But God, who would I want the Power Rangers? I'm not a big Power Rangers fan. Is the thing.
Have they done Transformers yet?
I think they have. Haven't
Have
they?
they did Power Rangers versus Transformers?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, then maybe that's the one that needs to happen. That makes sense.
I could see
or
that.
G.I. Joe.
But Voltron would be similar. So yeah, I mean, I could go for either one of those.
I agree.
I said it's like I don't even remember the Death Battle because they did the Megas. It really was the Power Rangers with the Megazord versus the Five Lion Voltron and that crew.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would be.
And it's like I can just see the story here. It's like, yeah, they got a battle against one another, and they already decided which one was already stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I could write kind of like a lot of stories about that's a uphill battle for. I'm not going to ruin that aspect. If you watched what is it called, Death Battle, you know who actually won that fight.
Okay. Nice. I don't think I have. I'll have to do that though. Very good question, Rick. Thank you very much. And Cindy Kemp, I think, has an excellent question. Given what Eric was reviewing, what are the qualities do we think make up a good 2-page spread?
I think anything that is going to be a pulled back epic reveal. Perfect example from Nocturna. When I showed earlier the reveal of the Outpost.
Yeah.
You've been leading up to where these people are going. It's a story payoff and a visual payoff.
Yeah.
And I think you can do that with either a splash page or a 2-page spread.
I give you that, but it has to be something that is so. If I would say, I hate to use the word epic, but it has to involve multiple characters doing multiple things all in one location, which is a good quality for a 2-page spread.
Yeah,
I mean, like a lot of your group books, it's like if you get like, let's say, I'm using X-Men as an example. If you get like 5 X-Men in a fight and they're all fighting, different villains all at one time, you pan the camera out, and you get to see the fight in its full scale. That's a good use of that.
Think of it like
that.
Yeah, exactly. Think of like in game when they're all when like think of it in comic book form. On the bottom right page, you would close in on Captain America saying "Assemble," Avengers Assemble. You would turn the page, and it would be a 2-page spread of everybody running towards Thanos and the army. Like how they really like pan back. In a movie, you do the pan out. In a comic, you do a 2-page spread.
Yeah. And also, Jack Kirby and Mike Grell in the 70s and 80s used the double-page splash to great effect. And it was usually some sort of huge action going on, something that was very widescreen.
Yeah.
Your first page might be a character setting it up, then all of a sudden, bam, there's the action going on. Like, Captain America is leaping, is in the clutches of Arnim Zola and can't escape. Something that deserves like the widescreen treatment, something, with a lot of action, something with a lot of detail, and something where you look at that and you're going, OMG, I've got to read the rest of this story. Or something like something very dramatic, like what Eric showed with that scene with the car in the book you were reviewing, Eric.
Pulling into the town or even the first, second and third page were a full page.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, take a look.
So I mean, it's got a very establishing shot. You got a dead body. You got all the stuff around him too. If it's an establishing shot and a small panel won't do it justice. That's criteria for me.
I think it's a big visual boom, but it's also a big storytelling tool. Like that's where it can either be a big fight that you want to show all the details, a really cool shot, or it is a storytelling point where you want the reader to stop and pay attention.
and study it.
And it doesn't always have to be super detailed, action packed.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It can be something a little more simple, but it has to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not action packed, you get weirdos like us that are like, all right, what are you trying to say? And are you just lazy?
Checkmate. Checkmate. Remember
right.
Checkmate with that
Yes.
2-page spread of the Earth.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Deal.
That was
that
bad.
was poor choice.
That could have been a single page splash page at most. Yeah.
The good example that I just thought about it, and I don't have it on hand. If you remember the original Contest of Champions, I believe it was issue number 2.
Mm-hmm. Just what I was thinking.
The opening splash page was a 2-page splash where you got both sides of the Grandmaster and Death. Their sides are warped down to a Wild West setting, and they're like looking around like, how do we get here? And that was a double page splash of them kind of like, what's going on? Why are we here?
Right.
And they left the reader like, okay, now they're on the battlefield, but they don't know why they're there. And you kind of like, okay, how this fight is going to ensue, because these are people that normally would not fight one another. And they're like looking around like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like, why are we, it's like, I didn't choose a side. It's like, we got to figure out what's going on. And that double page spread where they're trying to figure out what's actually happening made sense.
Yes.
Even though it wasn't detailed as far as them being in the corral and all this other stuff and the tumbleweeds and everything, really didn't pay that much to the story. But the simple fact that it was an unknown setting for them and they're reacting to that setting made that double page splash that much more important.
Yeah. And Joe, that put me in mind of like some of the issues that tied into the Crisis on Infinite Earths when they were aboard the satellite. And suddenly you see like members of Infinity Incorporated hanging out with members of the Justice League and all these individual heroes that you just didn't see all the time. Suddenly, they're part of this panorama. And in fact, there is a cover theme, I believe, that's going to be coming up from DC soon, a variant cover where it's an homage to George Perez.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in a whole bunch of classic artists like Dave Gibbons and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez to draw these individual characters as an homage to the work of George Perez. So Damon Waldron says, very good, sir. And good show, guys. Carl, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Cindy Cap goes, you'd have to take away the 66 bad guy rants. And Rick Bradley says, remember when Marvel printed some X-Force books sideways? Yeah, I remember those in some annuals too one summer. It obviously didn't.
Would you like to see a double page spread from issue 4 of the Zombie World of Oz?
Sure.
No, it's double.
Sure, promote yourself.
It's double page because it just wasn't going to work for me being smaller. So here we go. Hold on.
And Cindy, I saw your question. We'll get to that in a moment.
Click, 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 click. Boom.
Clickety, click, click.
All right, there it is. Adding it. There we go. Adding it to the stream. And there we go. Oh, that's a double pager?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example, I'd say.
Yeah, I just it wasn't going to work. I tried drawing it smaller, but it just wasn't going to work.
It's a ta-da moment. Really, it is. That's the sort of thing that you lead up into it. You tease it, then all of a sudden, boom! There's the Tin Man. I dig it. I so dig it.
I like the use of black.
I do.
I put a lot of black in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the obvious because the first thing that came to my mind is like, oh, the Tin Man is going to see Niles Calder.
And Cindy Kemp says it is cool.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah. And also she asks, what is a splash page? A splash page is usually like a
one panel fills up the whole page.
Yes.
Yeah. Like this is a 2-page thing here, but this panel here would be kind of a splash page. Let me find a better one here.
Yeah, as long as there's only one panel in the page.
Yeah.
Typically, the definition of it's a
Yeah.
splash.
Yeah, or here we go. It can sometimes, like an introductory page like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There's a good one from Joe.
This is from actual Amazonia #1.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Here's one.
Good one. Good one.
From Canceled, which I haven't reviewed yet.
Yeah. And
What they tried to do to us, cancel.
I know.
Here's one from the Nebulizer, which is alive on Kickstarter right now.
Pledge to it
Hashtag
now.
always promote.
Hashtag always promote. Yeah.
This was the ending reveal.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Trying
I
to.
think we still got one question that we haven't touched.
Yeah, we do. But anyway, Cindy, I hope we answered your question. And we have one more question from Ryan Permison. We hope you're still around with us. Top 3 graded comics you want in your collection and why? I think there's some painfully obvious answers, but I'm thinking what would have rather than resale value? Because otherwise I'd say, like Action Comics #1, the Funnies #1, and it'd be a tie between Marvel Comics #1 or Detective #27. Because obviously those books are iconic, and if you could get like a really good copy of it, some of these are fetching 7 figures now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 graded comics you want in your collection. I want Zombie World of Oz #1, Nebulizer #1, and Amazonia #1.
That
I
could happen
believe
soon.
you'll be able to get.
That could happen very soon.
Right. Hashtag promote.
Only reason I know for that because again, if I don't have to go to war with CGC, there are some that I just sent off to them.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well,
And I have plans to send off issues of 1, 2, and 3.
And I keep telling myself I'm going
And 4 eventually.
Yeah, I keep telling myself I'm going to send off Spencer Spook one of these days. Get a couple of those. But actually, I'm getting one slabbed, and that's issue #3 of the Human Torch, Winter 1940, because that was a gift from my late mother for my high school graduation, and simply to preserve it.
Yeah.
I have no intention of ever selling it while I'm alive. Cookie it'll be on eBay 2 seconds, and I'm still warm. But no, not me. But anyway, that would probably be my one. After that, I'm not all that fussy.
I have the one I wanted more than anything else, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
Yeah.
I have that. I wanted to get. I have the original print run of the individual Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller.
Oh, nice.
And I want to get at least one of them.
Yeah.
Slabbed. But man, for a third one, I'm not sure. I feel like it would have to probably be let's see. I have a Stan Lee Spider-Man, but the Spider-Man issue isn't really of any like importance. It's more just like a like the rest of the books that mean a lot to me are trades, or very thick, so they really wouldn't work as a slab kind of deal.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, like I have Spawn #1 signed by Todd McFarlane, and I have Spider-Man, some random Spider-Man book, signed by Stan Lee. So maybe those.
Yeah. Very good choices.
Just for
Very good
sentimental value.
Yeah, actually, what I think we all want would be a Shadow #1 by Mike Kaluta. I hear only the real studs have that. Sorry. Anyway,
no, man. When Ryan brought that up, I was like, man, I might drive. Just show up right in front of him and be like, oh, I'm buying this.
Well, I thought if I wanted to be a real a-hole, I would call the place at 9:00.
Oh, man.
And say, can you take a credit card over the phone?
Oh.
And then I'm sorry. We've already sold this to some guy over the phone.
No, you should have just called and said, hey, can you pull us aside and say someone already bought it?
Yeah.
And then go, burn!
Yeah.
Say, my name's Brian Morris. That's the name on the card, but everyone calls me Ted.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my god! And Ryan would turn into an axe murderer, and I'd have to let him. So yeah,
that is messed up. But I don't know how to answer that question, to be quite honest, because I got several slabs, and the stuff that I really, really wanted, one I can't even afford.
Right.
You know, the one that I truly want, the number one book that I want, I can't afford, and that's All-Star Comics #8.
Yeah.
And
because part of the
for those
pricing
that don't
is the
know,
value, right? How much it's worth.
But it's not because of how much it's worth. It's more along the lines. It's just that rare.
Yeah, that's true.
And it is officially the very first Wonder Woman comic, even though she doesn't really make a full appearance.
Right.
It's her origin. They talk about her origin in that issue of how she came out.
That's true.
If not the very first comic that she's in, but it's just the very first Wonder Woman comic because it had like I want to say 6 to 8 pages dealing with her origin in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is already a 5-digit book.
Yeah.
So that one, I was like, you know what? If I come across one and I'm able to get it or somebody bequeath it to me, I'm a happy camper.
Sure.
But all the other stuff that I really need or want in my collection, it's just going to be that much of a grind to get it because I know people don't have it anymore. Like a My Greatest Adventures #80.
Yeah.
For those people who don't know what My Greatest Adventures #80 is, it's the very first Doom Patrol issue.
Exactly.
It's the very first Doom Patrol, but everything else is like I got an Uncanny X-Men #1 from 1963 already slabbed.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think I got like the first 3 issues slabbed.
Nice.
I mean, I got a Wonder Woman #9 first Gigantus slab. I mean, it's not like I don't have certain things slabbed. So it's just like the key word one is the problem. I mean, I just picked up like I showed it already to you guys, the 9-2 Savage She-Hulk #1, which goes along with the 6-5 that I got that's signed by David Anthony Kraft. You know, there's certain books that, you know, it's like it's not going to take me that much to get a slab. What they have to do is just like, here's CGC, here's my money, take it. As long as I don't have to go to war with them. And then I have to probably go to CBCS or EGS or one of the other people that
That's
does
true.
bring.
That's true.
But I'm just trying to think. It is what it is. I can't think of a third one, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Cindy Kep says, if Animal Eye 1 ever gets to be worth a lot, I am set. Looking at 2,000 copies in the basement.
Cindy, this is what I would do, and this is what I suggest to most creators. Take about 5 of them, get them graded.
Yeah.
If you go through CGC, do the signature series service, and just sit on them.
Yeah.
And the reason I say sit on them because if they do get popularized, worth a lot of money. If it don't get popularized, they're rare enough because you signed them and it's been verified signature wise that it's rare.
Right. And also, as a creator, you can also register to get a substantial discount on those books. I think last I heard it was like $15 or something like that. They may have raised the price in the last few years, but basically you get a discount because you're the creator. Cindy Cap says the publisher got a really good deal on that many at once. Well, yes, the more you print, the lower the per unit price goes down. So yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and it almost, it's almost worth your while to sit on those things because you're going to be releasing more issues, and hopefully your audience base will expand, and you can, like, if Bear Publications decides to crowdfund, they can use those #1s as part of a thank you level, so part of a reward level. So you are not hurt by holding on to those, Cindy, at all. Good, in fact, good planning on everyone's part there. So those are the questions. Thank you guys and gals for your questions. Much appreciated. We love showing off our big throbbing brains here. So we are grateful to be able to show what we might and may not have learned here. So I think we're about due to close this one out. So let's go around the room and let's start with we'll do it like we did before. We'll start with Joe and go around the room. Joe, tell everybody how they can keep up with you, and give them one more pitch for signing up for your Kickstarter right now.
Well, you just covered up where they could find me. Right there at that link, right there, the link tree that's there. That's where you can find all my social media. You can find out where you can watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on YouTube as well. You can catch me this Saturday. This Saturday, I believe we got Michael Oden on this Saturday, so it's going to be like catching up with another old friend this time around. And the week after that, if everything is aligned and the stars are aligned up correctly, we will be doing the full run of Trials of the Amazon.
Nice.
All 7 issues reviewed all at one time. And like I said, there is some death, some destruction. And like I said, this is the first time that in a long while that DC has actually done another contest. And this one has some dire stakes involved in it. So it'd be kind of key to, in 2 weeks to watch that episode here. And now if you put up the other thing here, you can also then go to this bit.ly link for issue number 7 for Amazonia. Sign up to be notified when we go live either on May 20th, 21st, or 22nd. Again, if we're going to be in one of those 3 dates here, we're going to go live. Not certain if who's actually doing the launch party as of yet. If worse comes to worse, it's probably going to be on the 21st, and I'm doing it myself. But the bad thing about it is like a 9 o'clock launch party is going, and I talk about 9 o'clock at night for the normal show is kind of late. So I'm not certain if I'm going to have like an early show that weekend and broadcast earlier and be out of the normal network schedule or not. So again, a lot of stuff is up in the air right now, but be assured that it's either going to be the 20th, 21st, or 22nd. That weekend is going to launch Amazonia number 7 here. And with that being said, I'm going to toss that over to my man Eric S. Hawkins, where he could tell you more about the Zombie World of Oz.
What? Hey, Zombie World of Oz number 4 is up on Kickstarter right now. Going to Dorothy in the Land of Oz, infested with zombies and all kinds of other goodies. A little steampunk adventure. We're fully funded, just meeting stretch goals left and right. Well, we met up left and right in the first week. Now it's just kind of tapered off. So we're, we get a couple backers a day. But I mean, the book's going to be made. It's going to ship out. No problems there. So just if you want to share it out, go grab the link and share it out. If you want to back it, back it. There's plenty of levels where you get some original art I've drawn or will draw. I mean, I got to draw 43 sketch cards I just looked at the other day.
He's not happy about that, but at least you could get the original 3 issues that would never be ever released ever again.
Correct.
Back this time around.
Last chance at it.
That's it. Then they're gone. I'm going to burn them.
Thank you so much, Eric. All right, and now here is Mr. Subtlety, Mr. Brian Rodman.
Is it good? Is it good, Brian?
Hi.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'm Brian Rodman, and I have a little book on Kickstarter right now called The Nebulizer. This is issue 1. This was back last year. Issue 2, if you go right here, you will be able to pick up not only this copy, but, well, not this copy. This is mine, not yours. And your very own copy of issue 1 of The Nebulizer, but also you will be able to pick up the current issue, issue 2. Extend your knowledge of asthma and have some fun doing it. Why not? It's a lot of fun, guys. It is a post-apocalyptic book about an asthmatic and his only friend, who is an AI suit. And they fight allergen mutants together. It's a lot of fun. It's ridiculous. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. Go pick it up. And you'll make me very happy. And we're trying to get this thing funded so that we can jump on these stretch goals. I'm going to announce some more goodies here in the next few days. Hopefully we'll catch some more folks and and yeah, get closer to our goal. We are a little bit over $2,000. Our goal is $3,000. So let's get this thing funded. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Oh, thank you for being here as always, my friend. Thank you all of you for being here. And I'm Brian K. Morris, risingtide.pub. Please check that out. You'll have links to our broadcasting and our various other ventures. And one of the things is a week from tomorrow will be the Pulp Factory Awards. We're going to see if we can cover that live on the air. And my story, Snow Ambition, is in this book here, available currently from Amazon or on its own for 99 cents for the Kindle. Check that out. We also have a brand new book, actually a trilogy of books. I'm in two of them. These cover the Batman, 1966 Batman TV series, available from Crazy 8 Press and Becky Books. Plus, we have our own works, such as the original Skyman, Battles the Master of Steam, Santa's Sign, all kinds of stuff. Holy cats, with the Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove, all kinds of great publications with the Terrors on the way, and also some brand new stuff, such as the Skyhook Remnant from the Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkins, as well as from Prose Press, The New Adventures of the Blue Circle, Crime Fighting by Committee, as inventor millionaire Len Stafford puts on the hood of the Blue Circle. However, the Blue Circle also refers to a group of reformed ex-cons who help him in the field and with advice on how to battle the criminal element. Plus, we also have another book just released last weekend, Major Marjorie. Marjorie Pettis is one of the biggest stars on radio in 1942 with her great science fiction show Major Marjorie. But what people don't realize is that the scripts are based on her real life exploits defending the Earth from alien intrusion. And it's got a story by creator Tim Bruckner, Clyde Hall, God bless him, Jim Beard, Alessia Kent, and myself, Brian K. Morris, edited and published by Charles F. Millhouse. So please check it out. Plus, next weekend, I will not be setting up there, but I will be attending the the Windy City Pulp and Paper convention up in Lombard, Illinois. Please check their website and also their Facebook page. I'll be there probably all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And next Friday will be the Pulp Factory Awards, which I am appropriately nervous over. So please, but if you want to follow my exploits, go to risingtide.pub and please sign up for my free monthly newsletter. We're going to have the next issue out on, I believe it's Sunday, May 1st. We're working on it right. Well, not at the moment, but anyway, let's see. Here we go. More comments. Thanks for the info, Cindy. Thank you for being here and asking such a great question. Thanks for the info. Thank you. Thanks for hosting the adventure. Great fun hand by all, and wow, that'll keep you busy, Cindy. I don't know what it's like to have downtime here, but anyway, if you want to see what I do with my spare time, of which I have very little, go to risingtide.pub. We would be glad if you did. And don't forget that tomorrow I will be on Nevermind the Furthermore, and also this weekend on Saturday I will be on at 6:45 Eastern on the Madness with Comic Madness with Pops Van Sant. I'll be on for about 15 minutes, so bring your questions and your what the hell is he doing here's. So anyway, folks, thank you for being here. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon, who in exchange for their monthly financial support get all kinds of things like peeks at my blog called Every Blog Should Have a Name, as well as works in progress. We just wrapped up the Terrors, the first draft of that, which I'm currently editing, and then some of them are getting to vote on what my next novel project will be for them. And will it be aquatic? Will it be another Skyman book? Will it be who knows what it'll be? Tune in. Will be another Terrors book. Check it out, and please look at what we offer you at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And I think that is about all that we can subject you to. And so, as always, folks, thank you very much for watching the show tonight. Your attendance and your participation mean the world to us. So please share, like this show. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you would. And please ring that little bell so you'll be notified of all of our appearances. And so we'll see you tomorrow morning on Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. And otherwise, we'll see you next week with hopefully the full 5 of us next week on Comic Book Spectrum. So as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, Wash your hands and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you next week on Comic Book Spectrum. Take care.
Thank you for watching Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Please join us next week for another look at comics, past, present, and future. If you enjoyed this, please give the show a like and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. To receive our free monthly newsletter, go to www.risingtide.pub and be sure to give the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook a like in order to receive news about upcoming shows including Clever Title Pending, Stupid O'Clock, Clever as Hail, Comics Chaos and Sass, Tidbits and Scribbles, the Historical Fencing Guild, and never mind the Furthermore. See you next week.